Yeah, Navarre Raiders, stand up. Get on your feet, mad child, baby. You know, who wanna rumble with the Raiders? Let's go, yeah, let's go. Navarre Raiders, get up, let's go. You don't wanna rumble with the Raiders. You don't wanna rumble with the Raiders. Yes, you wanna rumble with the Raiders. Come on, rumble with the Raiders. You don't wanna rumble with the Raiders. Yes, you wanna rumble with the Raiders. Come on. Hey, yo, it's lights out. Whenever they turn the lights on, enough with the talking, baby boy, the fight's on. You wanna rumble with the Raiders? Listen, there's nothing, baby, we running through you haters. And you can hate us, cause we keep chips on our shoulder. You know why we the best, but now we gotta show you. Listen, better watch how you approach us. Y'all bugs to us and we'll stump you cockroaches. Simple and plain, quit is what you should really do. Put your game face on, it's about to get physical. This here's a game of strength, patience, determination. And you can never win if you lack in the motivation. And now you heard it from the source. Losing is not an option, you can hear it in our voice. We only play this game to win, and we gon' put it on the line every time and every chance we get. Cause we may never get this chance again. So when you rumble with the Raiders, understand you on the field with men. Why play if you ain't playing to win? You just wasting the Raiders' time. Listen, shall I say it again? Yeah, you don't wanna rumble with the Raiders. You don't wanna rumble with the Raiders. You wanna rumble with the Raiders. Come on. Rumble with the Raiders. You don't wanna rumble with the Raiders. Yes, you wanna rumble with the Raiders. Come on, rumble with the Raiders. You don't wanna rumble with the Raiders.
Welcome to our broadcast here in 2019. This is Irish Bill with
Bob Grant.
Bob Grant going to be joining me on the color this year. And welcome, Bob, to our broadcast, our inaugural broadcast on IrishBillSports.com.
Very exciting. Glad to be part of it here.
Looks like the Raiders are going to be wearing their onyx-colored uniforms tonight. I don't know where they came up with onyx. Do you? To me, it's gray.
Or black.
Yeah. All right. Almost like a charcoal.
Right.
This is Irish Bill with Bob Grant on IrishBillSports.com. And we're going to be bringing you live action this year on IrishBillSports.com. And I have ventured out onto my own. And we have brought some of our sponsors along with them. And you'll hear the commercials as we go on throughout the show. But I'm happy to be here. It's the Raiders coming off 11-2 season. Bounced in the third round of the state playoffs right here at home to Crestview. Crestview, the team that went on and gave Armwood a great game in the next game, but just came up a little bit short.
Yeah, sure did. And they were certainly loaded. We thought Navarre had Crestview on the ropes, and in the end, Crestview was just a little bit too strong for us. So you always look for, next year, and we're here with next year.
Coach Jay Walls in his 8th year. Listen to this record, folks, 70-17, 2 trips to the Final Four that had never been done before Coach Walls got here. A 70-17 record, and only one season with 5 losses, and everything has been 3 or less since.
It sure did. He came from Crestview, I believe.
Well, he coached with another Raider coach at Crestview in the early 90s, Larry Olson. And he went off got his first head coaching job over at Sewanee, and then went into Georgia, Tift County. And he guided them to 3 state runner-ups in Georgia and at Tift County. I'm trying to remember what their name. I know their colors are blue, but he did a great job up there. I think he spent 10 years up there. And then he came back to Navarre. He's originally graduated from Rutherford High School, went to Valdosta State, got into as a student coach after he played, and the rest is history. He's now property of the Navarre Raiders.
Well, he's a heck of a coach, and my wife and I know him socially, and his wife Amy. teaches at Holland Navarre Middle School. Just a great family, great guy for the community, and I think is a great fit for Navarre when they needed somebody like him. And so, kudos to the administration way back when that hired Jay and saw his success. Local boy, done good, went up in Georgia, like you said, and coached very well up there. So
he's the fifth Raider coach. Coach Kenny Hughes got the thing started back in '98 when they just had a junior class. Some say that's not official, but to me, anytime a game is played, that's official to me. And he went 4-5 in his first year. Then the hands were moved over to Coach Williams, and then after that, Larry Olson. Then on to one of my favorites. I love Chad Lashley, great guy.
Right.
He moved on, and then they brought in Coach Walls, and there's your history of Navarre head coaches.
Yep, certainly brief but stellar. Who knew back when Navarre was, just a fledgling high school, like you said, starting with one class and another and another. Now they're certainly the largest in Santa Rosa County. Approaching 1,500 to 2,000 students. Two of which are mine that go here. And but who
get know? This, Bob? I just got this picture from a buddy of mine in Sweden that has the game on streaming. My good friend Todd Alt, watching. I've known him for about 8 years. He went over there and coached American football to the Swedish college-age men. He got hired by the country, coached for 5 years, and then he retired. And now he gets a check from the country after doing his service to the country. He's married a Swedish gal, great gal, Victoria, and they have a daughter, Cecilia. But he's checking in from Sweden.
So we have people all over the world listening and watching us tonight.
I know, it's great. And I always love because that's one reason I got into it. Being in a military community, you got a lot of parents that are deployed, husbands and wives, station remote tours, and they can catch it wherever they're at as long as they got internet. And that's one of the reasons that I got into it, so that they wouldn't miss, say their son's a senior, they wouldn't miss their son's senior year. And they kind of work it into their schedule wherever they're at.
It might be 1 or 2 in the morning wherever they're at, aboard a destroyer somewhere in the Baltic Sea or deployed in Afghanistan, and we certainly take our hats off to them and thank them for their service. And Bill, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
My father did 32 in the between the Army Air Corps and the Air Force, and so I'm a military brat, but and the military just plays such an important role in our community, and we're so proud of them. And all those sounds we hear at night, the sounds of freedom, the bombs and the C-130s doing their thing, and so we want to take our hats off to.
This is the first time that my friend Todd has got to watch me. He's listened before, but he's never got to watch one of the Navarre games. So this is his first broadcast over in Sweden that he has actually gotten to watch. Thanks for checking in tonight, Todd. We're going to step out and hear a word from our sponsors. Culver's, Ursula Householder, Express Employment Professionals, University Lender Group, and the Navarre Quarterback Club. We'll be right back. This is Bob Grant and Irish Bill on irishbillsports.com.
Craig Culver of Culver's. Before farm to table, before field to fork, there was just good, wholesome food. Grown by America's farm families, prepared fresh at Culver's, and always served with a smile. We still cook every Butterburger to order using fresh 100% Midwest beef and craft our frozen custard right in the restaurant using family farm fresh dairy. So thank you, farmers. Welcome to Delicious.
Navarre Raider Sports is brought to you by Ursula Householder of Caldwell Banker Residential Real Estate, your local real estate connection. With Ursula, you've got a positive, helpful partner for buying or selling a home. Ursula can help with all of your real estate needs, whether in the Florida Panhandle or around the world. Her 15 years experience in real estate will work for you with innovative marketing strategies. Thinking about selling your home? Call Ursula for a free market analysis and see if you qualify for one of the incentive programs. Call Call or text 850-642-5711. Email ursula.householder@floridamoves.com or go to householderhomes.com. Go Raiders! Your fans are behind you at the field or watching at home.
One company is on a mission to put 1 million people to work each year. Sounds like a big number, doesn't it? Not to Express Employment Professionals, seeking a skilled labor position, or administrative work. Maybe you're an executive looking for a career that fits. Good morning, everyone. We take pride in connecting the right people with the right company. Express Employment Professionals is on a mission to put 1 million people to work each year. Let us help. We'll open doors for you. Go to expresspros.com to find a location near you.
University Lending Group, located in Harvest Village, is Navarre's local mortgage lender. If buying, selling, or building a dream home is in your future, you need to contact University Lending Group. Jennifer Gomes and Stacy Wright are the loan specialists who have the experience to take you step by step to make your buying, building, or selling experience smooth. See University at 752 Navarre Parkway, Suite 56, or call 850-396-0322. Great teams have great support. The Navarre Raiders have one of the best support organizations, the Navarre Raider Quarterback Club. All the members see to it that the Raiders have all available necessities to keep the Raiders on track, whether it's seeing to it they are properly fed, have good transportation, or making sure that all Raider fans can hear all the exciting Navarre Raider football action. The Navarre Raider Quarterback Club is there to make it happen. Thanks, Navarre Raider Quarterback Club, for your support of your winning Navarre Raiders on JockJive.com.
This is an Irish Bill back at Bennett C. Russell Stadium for the beginning of the 2019 campaign. Bob Grant would be my color man for this season, and I'm looking forward to some good times this year, Bob.
Absolutely. Looking forward to working with you. Spent a lot of years with the Fort Walton Vikings and my old broadcast partner, Mark Stevens, and through the Danny Werfel years and all, and I'm just glad to be back and contributing and helping out to Navarre and with your new venture in 2019.
And we have the color guard coming to the center of the field, and we'll put the camera right on the center of the field, and we'll move a little bit closer in. And great job that these young men and women do in the junior ROTC program here at Navarre. And we're going to switch over to the field mic once we start the national anthem from the Navarre Raider Marching Band. Another fine We'll turn us back up here. Another fine rendition of our national anthem by the Navarre Raider Marching Band. Bob, that's another thing I'd like to point out. When we first started coming here years ago, the band was maybe about 20, 25 students. Look at it now. In their own uniforms, beautiful uniforms. They have grown in size. I would probably say close to 75 to 100 now. And
absolutely. Yeah.
And it's just, I love the whole atmosphere of Friday Night Lights in the state of Florida, and especially here at Bennett C. Russell Stadium over the last, since I started in 2008. This is my 11th year of broadcasting Navarre Raider football. The first on IrishBillSports.com, and hopefully look forward to many more years to come here in Raider Nation. It's a beautiful night here. This August, I'm putting this in October already, August 23rd night on 2019.
Thought we might have some precipitation tonight, but the weather gods, you must have done your rain dance. I
got to tell you a little story, Bob. I've gone out to see my IT folks 3 Fridays now. It's been 3 Fridays at least. Every time I've gone out, it has rained. And I was hoping tonight that coming back to Navarre that I left the rain in Pensacola, and it's a beautiful evening. We couldn't ask for any better weather.
Great night for football. One little side note, you're talking about the Raider band, and we see them at football games, but they participate, of course, in basketball with their spirit band, and they're in competition. I mean, their season just doesn't stop when football does. They're year-round. They go to competitions, and they're award-winning, and we're very, very proud of the Navarre band.
Another thing about my friend Todd in Sweden, his dad was military as well. So Todd is a military brat, traveled all around. His dad, I believe, was in the Air Force as well. Was late passed on, and I met Todd. It's a strange story. I like telling stories when I do games. Todd and I met playing online Texas Hold'em 8 years ago online. We have never met each other, but we're like long lost brothers right now because we've known each other for almost 8 years.
Well, he needs to invite you out to Sweden.
He has numerous times. One thing I got to do is get a passport. I don't have a passport yet. So, and another thing is my daughter works at the Pensacola airport, so my wife and I get a fly standby for nothing. So
wow.
I need to go out.
Well, that would be nice if you could make your way across the ocean to Sweden. And
I have never been to Sweden. I've been to South Korea. I've been to Turkey. I've been to Oman. I've been to Pakistan, and I've been to Qatar. But I have never been to Europe other than going through it to get to the desert.
Right. Yep. You never been to Bahrain?
I stopped there on the way home from Pakistan.
Okay, yep.
We spent about 3 hours there getting our next flight out of there. Then we went on from there. We went to Jordan. Then Jordan, we had to go up into Sigonella Naval Air Station in Italy. Then we had to make one more stop in Morón, Spain, before we actually got on the C5 and headed back 2 days before Christmas. And it was
a luxury, a C5.
Yeah, C5.
Luxury.
It almost broke on the runway before we even took off. And it was an adventure. I'll look back when I get older, and the people that I worked with, the people that I met, not only from the U.S. but from other countries that were also in defense of what we are doing, what is right in the world, that were there with us. And I got a lot of great memories. But we're going to bring memories to you here tonight. Navarre Raider football against their rival, the Gulf Breeze Dolphins from just down Highway 98. This is Irish Bill and Bob Graham. We're going to bring you all the action here on IrishBillSports.com in the Publix Beach Bowl Cup, which Navarre has kind of dominated over the last about 10 years.
Yeah, it's weird playing the game at the beginning of the year, and because of realignment and who you got to play, and we're in a different district now than with the Gulf Breeze. They brought the game to the beginning of the year, and not a bad way to kick off football. I mean, we'll have football tomorrow.
Yeah, Florida Gators. I'm looking forward to that one.
And football till all the way through the Super Bowl, right? So,
well, I'm a Notre Dame fan. I go by Irish Bill. That's why I go by Irish Bill, because I'm a huge Notre Dame fan. But I like rooting for Florida, too, because when I moved here in 91 with my wife, Danny Werfel was a senior at Fort Walton Beach High School, and they went on and went 15-0 that season, won the 1991 state championship. The first I believe it was the first for Fort Walton Beach.
Right.
Their second one would come 5 years later with a wide receiver named E.G. Green, and his dad, I believe, is still working over there at the high school, if not close to retirement. But
Ernie Sr. has retired.
Okay.
Doing well. I think Mama Vivian Green is also retired. E.G., I saw E.G. last year here. He was coaching at Washington. He came by when I was helping with the tickets, and it was like a double take, and he came in and shook my hand. He was coaching there. He applied. You talk about Phil Dorn. He did apply for the Fort Walton job, and so anyway.
One thing we did the night before the state championship game when they played St. Thomas Aquinas, Fort Walton Beach in '91, we had my squadron Christmas party. So we left at about 9 o'clock or 1 o'clock or whatever, and drove through the night down to Gainesville. Got in our hotel room about 5 a.m., slept for a couple hours, and went out for about 11 a.m. kickoff. And they did not disappoint as they took out St. Thomas Aquinas on a huge day from Heisman Trophy winner Danny Werfel.
And, something about that game, Danny was known for his arm in high school, throwing those rocket passes, but I believe the first touchdown was a long run on
73 yards. Yep. I remember that one. I think he finished with like 170 yards on the ground, and he passed for over 300 as well. He had a bunch of receivers, a big offensive line that protect him, and a great kicking game as well. They didn't punt a whole lot with that team.
No, they didn't.
So you got a lot of points out of your kicker. But enough about Fort Walton Beach. It's Navarre Raider time now. It's Raider Nation on IrishBillSports.com as we're getting ready to kick off here. We're at the 7:30. We're at the bottom of the hour. The teams are both at their particular end zones. Gulf Breeze will be in the north end zone coming out of the north end. Navarre will be coming out of the south end zone wearing, it looks like sort of like a charcoal gray uniforms. I call them onyx. We'll go with onyx and white numbers with the maroon in there as well, and their black Raider helmets with the big Raider on the side. Gulf Breeze coming out in their gold jerseys with their blue pants and their blue helmet and the dolphin on the side. And this is the rivalry, folks, separated by about 16, 17 miles. Not as close as the Pace and Milton one, which is 8 miles. Well, our captains are going out to the field. And for the Raiders, number 1, Marlon Courtney. Number 2, Tyler England. Number 24, Bailey Houston. And number 60 is Joaquin Ravenel. Some of these names I'm pronouncing for the first time, so bear with me. And for the Dolphins, you have number 8, Trey Alexander. And as we'll see as they unfold here, looks like number 38, that would be Sam Sharp. And looks like we got one of those offensive linemen out there as well. Looks like number 50 or 60.
60. Their numbers are tough to see.
Number 60 is Tommy Egley. And number 52 is their this guy is a beast. Tyree Smith plays both sides of the ball. Being looked at by a lot of D1 schools already. Hey, I got it right. First try.
Well, either you're both right or you're both wrong, but I have a feeling you're both right. I noticed the Publix Cup is there in the field, and Navarre has dominated, as you said, the series.
Which is funny, one of their best years Navarre had was the year that they got upset by Gulf Breeze when Michael Carter was a senior. Michael Carter rushed for 2,500 yards that year and 45 total touchdowns, all school records. And but he didn't rush for 100 yards in that game against Gulf Breeze as they came up 3 points short.
Yeah, that was a tough one. Mr. Carter's doing pretty well at the University of North Carolina.
Looking forward to him starting for the Tar Heels this year under new head coach, coach back from Mac Brown.
Yep.
Had been out for a while after he left Texas. And so he's back in the game, and it will be interesting to see how the Tar Heels and Michael Carter go because they brought in a lot of talent. There's a lot of talent in North Carolina football, and I'm looking forward to that one. And also we got a young man over at Auburn, And backup center Nick Brahms, they're making the trip next weekend as they start off with a big game against Oregon. And then
Jerry World.
Yeah, we got some other guys out there playing Division I football. Dante Wright out at Colorado State. Jordan Jefferson out at University of West Virginia will start as a freshman, I just heard. You have a couple others. You have Joshua Carter at South Alabama with Bryson Brewer, wide receiver, over there. And Quig Caballero is over at Charleston Southern, all Division I schools. Have you heard of that, Bob? Coming into this program, we had 4 in 1 year.
Yeah, it's amazing, and credit to the coaching staff, coaching them up. Head coach Jay Walls, they promote these kids like they're supposed to, but in a lot of ways these kids promote themselves. They're, the Carter family. The numbers speak for themselves.
And the Wrights have taken over the torch from them.
Right.
You have Southmore Devin Wright, who's now on varsity. A little bit different size than Dante. He's about 6'1", about 215. He'll play defensive line and tight end for the Raiders as a sophomore. The Raiders will be kicking off, so I assume they won the toss and probably deferred.
I believe they did. They sure did. We've got a couple Raiders that have been in the NFL as well. I know Gatlin Casey was on the
Giants.
Yeah, sure was. He was on at least the practice squad or the preseason squad. I haven't heard what's happened since. And our tight end wide receiver that was with the Jets for some time.
Preston Penton's going to put toe on leather for the Raiders to get this 2019 campaign going. A junior kicker here at Navarre as he takes over for graduated senior Kevin Taish.
Coach Bobby Clayton, head coach at, I started to say Pine Forest. He coached there for a number of years.
Yeah, in fact, that was the first place that I met him. We did a game over in Jacksonville when they played Orange Park. And he was assistant coach at Pine Forest under legendary coach. I always forget.
Carl Madison?
No, it wasn't Carl. It was who came after him.
Jerry.
Jerry. There you go. It's his father-in-law, I believe.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Jerry, for forgetting your last name. It will come to me eventually. I forget a name for just moments.
What's your name again?
Yeah. I don't know. I always go back to one of my favorite moves. Don't bug him. He can't remember who he is. From 50 First Dates?
Yep.
That's all right. Go on ahead, sir.
Whenever there was someone not on the roster, we'd always call him Eric Stratton from the movie.
Darn glad to meet you.
Yeah, darn glad to meet you.
Penn getting ready to put toe on leather to get this season under the way here at Bennett C. Russell Stadium. Back deep is the Gulf Breeze return man at the 1 yard line. Penn's kicks a good kick. It's going to be inside the 10, down to the 5. He's got a nice return out over the 25, still on the feet, and he takes a big hit at the 26 and goes down right there on a big hit by number 23. That would be Zach Marquise, good special teams player for the Raiders, and a 55-yard kickoff for Penton.
Navarre defense always stalwart. We'll see how far they've come. Coach Jay Wall said they had a great offseason, spent a lot of time in the weight room, and we'll see how they match up against the Gulf Breeze offense.
Ryland McCurdy will be the starting quarterback for Gulf Breeze. They're in the shotgun. He's going to fumble the snap. It's going to be a handoff off right tackle. And another fumble. The ball's on the ground, and it looks like the Raiders are going to come up with it. A fumble recovery for the Raider defense, number 14, sophomore Trent Hall.
Tough hit on just a little power off tackle. Hit was made, ran by a couple of players, and as you said, the Raiders recover. Trent Hall, a sophomore, a defensive back, and he also plays some on offense at wideout.
So that's going to give Raiders great field position at the Gulf Breeze 34-yard line with 11:45 on the clock. We'll adjust the clock on the scoreboard on your computer when we can. 1st and 10 Navarre at the Gulf Breeze 34. It's going to be Courtney's going to get out of the pocket, and he's going to throw it a little bit short to his intended receiver out there. It looks like number 49, Fernando Gomez.
You know, timing is everything, and in that time, a little play fake to the tailback, and timing was messed up. Decided to throw a little bubble screen out to the right, and pass was under heavy pressure. Pass was underthrown just slightly.
Senior Nathan Dugan on in center for the Raiders. We're going to pull off sides. And that's going to give the Raiders an easy 5 yards on the first penalty of the season.
And, you know, for Bobby Clayton, it's not a great start. You know, you have a pretty good return out to the 30 or 35-yard line. Setting up, you run a little off tackle, and you fumble the ball. Now you basically give Navarre, well, it is 2nd and 5 inside the Dolphin territory.
So Gomez goes in motion. He's going to hand off up the middle. A nice hit there, but a nice gain by Jaden Antonio down to the 27. It's going to be a 2-yard gain, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 3.
Just a little belly handoff inside. They call the offensive linemen, they have a nickname, I understand, the Bubbas.
I call it, they got that from me.
Oh, is that right?
I call them the Big Bubbas.
The Big Bubbas.
I gave them that name about 6 or 7 years ago. I started calling the offensive linemen the Big Bubbas.
Another offsides.
Another offsides against Gulf Breeze.
Encroachment defense. 5-yard penalty gives the Raiders first down and 10.
That's the Raiders' inaugural first down of the season via the penalty. 1st and 10, Raiders at the Gulf Breeze 22. Courtney's going to pitch out to Jaden Antonio. He's going to be met in the backfield, but bounces off for a nice little gain down to the just inside the 20-yard line, a gain of 2.
Kept his feet moving. Gulf Breeze tried to arm tackle. There you go with that weight training. You got to wrap him up low, the Navarre Raiders. He's not a very big young man, but he muscled his way for what could have been, negative yardage. He got some positive yardage. Looking at 2nd and 8.
Courtney back to pass. He's going to roll out of the pocket to his left. He's going to get one off in the middle. There's it wide open in the center of the touchdown area goal line. And it's a Raider touchdown. 20 yards to Jaden Antonio out of the backfield.
Little play action didn't fool Gulf Breeze. Pressure was coming. Young man did a great job laying it in. Little hitch pattern over the middle, wide open for 6 for the Raiders.
And that comes with 10:20 on the clock here in the first quarter. A 20-yard strike at the 10:20 mark. And the kick is up and good by Penton. And the Raiders are on the board. 7-0 as we change that scoreboard. And the first touchdown of the season goes Navarre's way.
Yeah, and in games like this, it is the first game of the season, but you got a rivalry game that's usually at the end of the season, and the script couldn't have played out better for head coach Walls. You get a turnover in their possession, have a 3rd down, and a pass in the end zone, right on target for 6, and the extra point made it 7.
And we're getting a lot of good coming in here. A lot of people out there viewing tonight's game on IrishBillSports.com. Our first inaugural broadcast of Raider football, and the first of many more to come in the future here at Bennessee Russell Stadium. And when the Raiders hit the road, we'll be there with them as well.
Have a good friend, Coach Kevin Craig, coaches the Lady Hawks at South Walton High School. He's at the South Walton-Fort Walton game, and he reports Fort Walton has taken a 7-0 lead early at Fort Walton against the South Walton Seahawks.
So we're getting ready for another Raider kickoff, second of the in the first 80 seconds.
Yep.
Or actually, 100 seconds. My math is sometimes good.
I would say, were you a math major?
I'm good when it comes to simple math, but when you start doing the other stuff, forget it.
Yep.
Penn's kick is high and it's deep, and it's going to come down at the 7-yard line. It's going to be mishandled by Gulf Breeze, but he's going to try and get some yardage out to the 22. And a return by Kyron Evans out to the 22-yard line, a return of 15.
And he comes up limping. He's the senior wideout, one of the stars on offense, and he's hobbling a little bit.
Well, one thing I have noticed with this Gulf Breeze team, Bob, is their numbers are down as far as their amount of players that are on that sideline.
I counted 36, I believe, and Navarre dressed well over 90, I believe.
Well, that's with their JV as well.
Yep.
They give me one roster and said, you figure it out. That's okay. The ones that are in gray are JV, and then there's some others. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for Gulf Breeze from the 22. It's going to be a handoff and a nice gain across the 25 out to the 32-yard line, and he's going to be close to a Gulf Breeze first down. That is number 15, Trevor Nelson.
Yep, the senior running back again. Really the same play that they fumbled on earlier, just a little bit off tackle. He did a good job hanging on to the football this time.
Looks like they're going to give him 9 yards. It's going to be 2nd and 1 from just inside their own 32-yard line. McCurdy in the shotgun, 2nd and 1. Back to pass is a quick hitter. The defenders fell down about the 37, so that left number 11 wide open, which, of course, there's always one. Who is that?
Eric Stratton. He was the rush chairman, I understand. Yep. With Gulf Breeze, we talked before the game about numbers and different schools and all, and very talented 36. At least that's what they're on the roster. Maybe towards the end of the game, playing both ways, the fatigue will set in for Gulf Breeze.
Well, that's Gulf Breeze's first down on the season. 1st and 10. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. A nice run there by Nelson. He's going to get out to the 39, a gain of 4.
Yeah, the Raiders are playing a 3-4 right now on defense, and the linebackers have to step up, and fill the gaps on that, and or else Nelson's going to really do well in this game.
Jordan Moon there on the line with Grady Kelly and Brandon Wangeren. It's going to be McCurdy rolling out to his left. He's going to be a big hit by the Raiders. Secondary coming up, and that looks like number 21, Kobe Johnson.
Big hit. Played it
gain.
well. 3rd down and about 6, I believe.
They're looking over the sideline to get the play from Coach Bobby Clayton. Navarre and Gulf Breeze here on IrishBillSports.com to start the 2019 season. We got a 3rd and 6 for the Dolphins at their own 39. It's going to be handoff to Trevor Nelson. He's going to break one out to the left. He's got a Dolphin first down into Raider territory down to the 43-yard line. It is going to be a gain of 18 down to the 43.
They decided to go on the left side. A little trap play. Good blocking up front by Gulf Breeze. He at the end of the play, he did cough up the ball again. The officials ruled he was down on by contact.
So the gain of 18 yards down to the Raider 43. 1st and 10, Gulf Breeze into Raider territory for the first time in this game.
Looks like Gulf Breeze got some personnel issues, trying to get the right one in the game.
We'll get the rest of the Raiders defense as we go here. Basically only 2 starters back on defense. There's a throw right in the pile, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's holding.
Just about the only call Mr. Umpire has.
It's either that or it's going to be a quick 5-yard face mask or something. But it's usually holding.
I never understood, and I refereed football as well, how those things in all levels of football are thrown so fast. But, to be an umpire, that's, one of your main jobs to look for holding and, as you mentioned, face mask. So, that's, I believe, the third penalty on the evening for Gulf Breeze. These kind of things you expect in the first game, but against a rivalry, that can hurt you.
1st and 20, McCurdy back to pass. He's got a receiver. He kind of overthrows him. Tight coverage for the Raiders back there, but is over his head by about 4 or 5 yards.
Yep, easily could have been interference, offensive interference. Wide out, pushed off our defensive back. Pretty good arm by the quarterback, laying it out, hoping the wide receiver would run under it.
Joaquin Ravenel back in there. They're going to be sending a lot of different guys out there on the defensive line to see which group works the best, but they're good at rotating a lot of defensive linemen throughout the game.
Yeah, you got to do that. It's early in the season, and fitness may not be as what you'd hope.
There's going to be a quick hitter out to number 15, Nelson. He's going to get to the 49 of Navarre. It's going to be a gain of about 3. Nelson's first catch. Gain of 3 on the completion. And it's going to bring up 3rd and a long 17.
Look for Gulf Breeze maybe to spread it out. Looks like four wideouts here.
McCurdy in the shotgun, 3 receivers to the top of the screen, single to the near side. McCurdy looking to his left. He's got a receiver open. He takes a big hit after a gain down to the 36. It's going to be a gain of 13. Looking for the receiver. It's like number 38, Sam Sharp on the catch.
Those numbers are tough to see.
They are.
Senior wide out.
It's going to be a gain of 13 to Sharp, and it's going to bring up 4th down.
See what Bobby Clayton does here.
And they're going to bring out the punt team, it looks like. They're going to play field possession here. Maybe.
Could be. I mean, early in the season, I wouldn't expect very many gadget plays, but
it's rivalry.
Yeah, that's true. I wouldn't. Gulf Breeze may want to just take a delay a game to move it back 5 yards, give him some more punting room.
Or trying to draw Navarre off sides
Correct,
to give him a first down.
It's a fake.
It is. It's a fake. We called it. It's going to be a fake down inside the 10. It was the up back. The punter went to the left. The up back runs a fake down inside the Raider 10, down to the 5-yard line. It's rivalry time. That's going to be a gain of, they were down to, let's see here. They were down to the 33, so it's going to be a 25-yard. Let's see whether they spot the ball at the 6, a 20.
Where did they put the ball down?
Right at the 5-yard line.
Yeah. That was.
So that's going to be a 28-yard gain by number 9, Carson Hepworth.
He's a backup quarterback, a sophomore. Shows, a lot of faith Bobby Clayton has on young players. And I think we are in the middle of our first mandatory water break.
And let's take a break along with them, Bob. Your score with 5:25 to go in the first quarter, Navarre 7, Gulf Breeze driving at 0. We'll be right back, folks. Have a word from our sponsors.
Craig Culver of Culver's. Before farm to table, before field to fork, there was just good, wholesome food. Grown by America's farm families, prepared fresh at Culver's, and always served with a smile. We still cook every Butterburger to order using fresh 100% Midwest beef and craft our frozen custard right in the restaurant using family farm fresh dairy. So thank you, farmers. Welcome to Delicious.
Irish Bill and Bob Grant back here at Bennett C. Russell Stadium. First and goal for the Dolphins as they fake on the punt and they gain 28 yards down to the Raider 5.
Well, Coach Clayton wanted to, put a spark into his team after 3 or 4 penalties, a fumble, couple fumbles, bobbled kickoff return. He's got him driving, knocking at the door.
McCurdy inside the handoff. He's going to get down to the 3, and a big tackle there from the linebacker, Jeffrey Maddox. It's going to be a gain of 2 down to the 3. Second and goal from the 3 on a 2-yard gain by Nelson.
Again, working off tackle, away from the heart of the Navarre defense, trying to make those linebackers commit.
And you can thank our cameraman tonight, Tim Keene, checking in with us again this year. Thanks, Tim. Doing a great job, as always. It's going to be an inside handoff down near the goal line is Nelson, and I think it's just going to be a little bit shy on another 2-yard gain down inside the 1.
Well, Bobby Clayton has shown that Nelson's going to be their workhorse tonight, and which is all good. But as I mentioned, fatigue will set in. A lot of these guys do play in both ways, as we talked about the size of Gulf Breeze roster.
The ball is sniffing the end zone line right here. 3rd and goal for the Dolphins. McCurdy in the shotgun. Nelson behind him. It's going to be handoff to Nelson. He's got short. It's actually going to be a loss on the play. Back to the 2. And that's going to bring up 4th and goal on the 1-yard loss.
I never understand why in close offensive teams go from the shotgun or the pistol rather than just going under center and plowing. You've got a big, tall, strong quarterback. Just go under center. And, as you mentioned, they were at the inch line. The corners from Navarre came up, made the tackle for loss. And, this is big for Gulf Breeze here early. They had the trick play. If they're stopped here, they got to be scratching their heads.
4th and goal. It's going to be handoff into keeper Mike McCurdy, and he goes in untouched on the fake handoff up the middle.
Yeah, great play call. Gulf Breeze, their backs were to the wall really literally early here, because if they didn't get in the end zone, that would be a big emotional lift. But as you mentioned, Gulf Breeze does punch it in, and let's see if they can tie the game up.
A 2-yard run by McCurdy at 3:28.
Gulf Breeze comes in as the old swinging gate, checks to see how Navarre is going to defense it. And I think Navarre may have called timeout.
Timeout, so we'll go ahead and click off one timeout on the chart here. And let's move the game clock down to 3:28. And we have a timeout here at Bennett C. Russell Stadium. So how you feeling so far, Bob?
It's, like riding a bicycle. It's great to be back. I joined you for a segment last year or a quarter, and I appreciate the opportunity to be here. I love football. And, this is, as you said, Friday Night Lights. We got football tomorrow, preseason football all through the weekend with the NFL. And I guess they call it week 0 in the college, because you have, Florida and Miami playing like in the kickoff classic, so to speak.
And we're going to have the extra point coming up here momentarily. It looks like number 16, which is Blank Crook, senior kicker and punter for the Dolphins. His holder, number 5, Devin Baldwin. Wonder if that's the younger brother of Doug Baldwin, who played at Gulf Breeze as well.
Did. Played in the NFL. Could be a nephew, perhaps, also. Could be a son. Who knows?
Kick is up and is good, and we're tied at 7 here with 3:28 to go in the first quarter of this inaugural game here on IrishBillSports.com and the 2019 campaign.
Got an update from Viking Field on the campus of Fort Walton Beach High School. Vikings are up 14-0 on South Walton Seahawks.
Got to give props to my good friend Joshua Wilson for all that he's done with FloridaHighSchoolFootball.com. You can go to their website and find any score going on in the state. Navarre in Class 7A this year, their new district with Lincoln, Leon, Childs, Niceville, Crestview, and Tate.
Yeah, nothing like a gauntlet to go through the season. Probably one of the toughest districts in all of Florida.
And ready to kick off as Crook gets ready to do the kickoff duties. Getting ready to put toe on leather to get this game back going. And it's a deep kick inside the 10. And it's going to roll into the end zone for a touchback. Here in the state of Florida, once that ball crosses the line, it's an automatic touchback. And the team takes over receiving the ball at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10.
Yeah, a couple of new rules this year in Florida High School and National, the Federation High School. Before, on the horse collar, you couldn't grab them in the horse collar. Now, they further defined the tackle from behind. You can't even grab them by the name on the back of the shirt. They consider that a horse collar as
Jerry
well.
Pollard.
Jerry
Thanks,
Pollard.
my good friend Ryan Bohannon up in Milton, as he gave me with the name. Thank you, Ryan. Courtney with the quick out to Xavion Thomas. He's a big gain out over the 30, and they're going to spot the ball at the 35-yard line, a gain of 15 for Thomas, and a Raider first down.
When you're in single coverage, you're darned if you do and darned if you don't. If you play him up tight with a speedy wide receiver, he could blow by you for a long pass. They're giving our wideouts a lot of cushion here early.
And the second first down for the Raiders.
Looks like another
There's
penalty.
a flag on the far sideline. We're going to have another encroachment against Gulf Breeze. Their third one of the night.
Looks like Gulf Breeze was coming with a blitz, and that's second. I think it was the second offsides on their defensive end there.
Getting great feedback here, saying the picture looks great. We may have to stay up on the roof all season long up here. That's going to be a handoff out to the 44-yard line. Antonio with a gain out to the 44. It's going to be a gain of 4, and it's going to be about 2.5 a yard for Antonio on the carry. Twin split to the top, single receiver near side. And Antonio, the lone back in the backfield to the left of Marlon Courtney. Your H-back, number 49, Fernando Gomez.
With 2nd and inches, see if Navarre might want to throw the ball here.
They're going to get the first down on a nice carry by Antonio. Off right tackle down to the Gulf Breeze 45-yard line. And it's going to be a gain of 11 down to the Gulf Breeze 45.
Well, I certainly was wrong on that call, but perhaps Navarre wants to pound the ball and tire the defense out here.
Antonio with one. He's going to get to the outside. Nice block by his receiver out there, Tyler England. And a gain down inside the 30. Actually, they're going to spot it right at the 30. A gain of 15 for Antonio, and another first down for the Raiders.
Boy, he sure is. He sure is shifty, very small. Reminds me a little bit of the running of a young Michael Carter. Bounced off a would-be tackler, went outside and got more positive yardage.
Great blocking by his receivers out there on the far side as well. It's going to be Jabari Mitchell on the end around, the jet sweep, and he's going to get yardage down inside the 25, all the way down to the 22, an 8-yard gain for Jabari Mitchell. Second and 2 for Navarre.
Yeah, Navarre looks good early here. The big bubbas, as you called them, really doing a good job blocking up front against the smaller Gulf Breeze defense.
1:40 on the clock here. 7-7 is your score. Nice block off left tackle and a run down to the 16-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 6 for, see who's in the backfield now. They're going to run some different ones in there. That looks like number 25, Gabe Davis.
Yep, Gabe is a senior. Spent some time at defensive back. But depth is always critical. And Coach Jay Wall is trying to experiment, trying to, like you said, keep people fresh.
And another first down for Navarre. It's going to be Courtney on the keeper. What a nice move inside the 5, 4, 3. Raider touchdown. Courtney on the keeper from 16 yards out. And the Raiders back on the board at the 1:14 mark of the first quarter.
Gulf Breeze defense was sucked in on the fake Quarterback saw it. Maybe a little run and shoot action there, and he just kind of waltzed into the end zone. A little poor tackling from Golf Breeze, unfortunately for Coach Clayton.
16-yard keeper for Courtney. And the Raiders on the board here again in the first quarter with 13-7. Penton in for the extra point. And it is up, it is true, and it is through. 14-7 Navarre with 1:14 on the clock here in the opening quarter.
Great job by Marlin. Bad snap, got it upright. Timing was adjusted by the kicker, and as you mentioned, split the uprights to put Navarre up by 7 here in just about the end of the first quarter.
1:14 on the clock. Penton's kick is good. 14-7 Navarre. They got the benefit of the short field on the first touchdown and a couple of Golf Breeze penalties. This one they take 80 yards, and they run off about 4 minutes on the clock. Actually, less than that, 2 minutes and 24 seconds on that drive.
And they were aided by, another offsides by the Golf Breeze defense. So good teams take advantage of that, and especially against rivals. And early on in the season, you want to execute. Coach Jay Wall is looking for good execution from his offense. And so far, my humble opinion, they look pretty good on offense.
So it's going to be Penton to kick off for the third time here in the first quarter, which is a good sign for your kicker.
We want him tired. And we want the ROTC students who have to do push-ups for every point, we want them exhausted by the end of the game.
Make them earn their money. Penton with the high kick. It's going to be down inside the 10 once again to the 8-yard line. It's going to be returned by number 3, Leonard Brown. He cuts it back to the middle, and he's going to have a nice gain out to the 29, a return of 22 yards.
That was defensive back Matthew Felder, a junior, made a sure tackle, wrapped him up.
And Penton staying consistently in that 53 to 55 over to the inside the numbers on the near sideline, which is a good kick.
Right. You want to put it in the corner so you can get your special teams kind of angled down, and they've been kicking consistently to that one corner.
1:07 on the clock here in the first quarter. Navarre up 14-7. It's going to be a handoff off right tackle, and a host of Raiders led in there by number 52, Grady Kelly, the junior. I met him at the chamber breakfast this morning. This is a big young man. About 6'4", about 265.
How many trips did he make to the buffet?
I stopped counting.
Yeah.
But one thing I like Coach Walls did, he made all 4 of them get up and talk in front of the crowd.
That's good.
And that will only benefit them if they go on to the next level, because they will get interviews. It's going to be 2nd and 10. No gain there on the carry. They're going to be forcing him out of the pocket. And it's going to be a nice shed there by McCurdy. He's going to stretch the ball over the 35. But he's going to step out just inside the 35-yard line. And it's going to be a gain of 6 for McCurdy on the scramble.
Yep. Good coverage by the secondary linebackers of Navarre. Quarterback made a heady play, rolled out to his right, and as you mentioned, picked up very positive yardage, setting up about 3rd and 5 here.
He's got some good size.
Yep.
McCurdy, a junior, so he'll be back next year for this Dolphin team. And Coach Clayton, number 1 coming in the game. My first chance of saying his last name, Sawarinsky. I hope that's close enough. It's going to be a handoff to Nelson right up the gut. He's going to have a Golf Breeze first down over the 45 out to the 47 after a 12-yard gain by Nelson and another Dolphin first down.
Football is, a game of adjustments. All great teams adjust on the fly depending on what the offense does. And I'm sure Navarre is going through some adjustments now, with that 3-4, getting those defensive linebackers to, really try to stuff that run.
That's going to close out the end of the first quarter. Your score after 1 here at Bennett C. Russell Stadium. Navarre 14, Golf Breeze 7, and we will be back after this commercial word from our sponsors.
University Lending Group, located in Harvest Village, is Navarre's local mortgage lender. If buying, selling, or building a dream home is in your future, you need to contact University Lending Group. Jennifer Gomes and Stacy Wright are the loan specialists who have the experience to take you step by step to make your buying, building, or selling experience smooth. See University at 752 Navarre Parkway, Suite 56, or call 850-396-0322.
One company is on a mission to put 1 million people to work each year. Sounds like a big number, doesn't it? Not to express employment professionals seeking a skilled labor position or administrative work. Maybe you're an executive looking for a career that fits. Good morning, everyone. We take pride in connecting the right people with the right company. Express Employment Professionals is on a mission to put 1 million people to work each year. Let us help. We'll open doors for you. Go to expresspros.com to find a location near you.
Well, our first quarter ended with Navarre on top 14-7. Bob Grant and Irish Bill here with you on irishbillsports.com. Still getting used to saying that, Bob. After 8 years of working for jockjive.com, and I want to thank Robert Williamson for giving me the opportunity and the know-how to go off on my own. And we're still remain great friends, and I appreciate everything that Robert Williamson and Jock Jive did for me. Sometimes you have to make change, and this was the right time.
Yep. Change is usually pretty good, and I appreciate the opportunity to be here. As I mentioned, I've got a little bit of interest in Navarre. All 4 of mine have gone through Navarre High School for my children. I've got 2 in high school now. They're swimmers. They had their first meet this past week against Choctaw and Milton. Did very well.
I just got confirmation from Jennifer Sluter that Devin Baldwin is the younger brother of Doug Baldwin. McCurdy back to pass. His receiver isn't looking, and it's going to fall incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Little brother, huh?
Little brother.
Little brother.
Well, Doug just retired, and he has been in the league.
Really?
Yeah, he just retired due to he had a lot of medical issues, and so I think he had about 8 to 10 years in. He went to Stanford. Medical issues cut his career a little short. Great career, Super Bowl winner. And now his little brother is playing for Gulf Breeze as well.
Who knows? Doug might be here in the stadium.
He's a senior. It's going to be a handoff to Nelson. He's been a tough, hard-nosed runner tonight. He's going to get a couple yards just shy of the 50-yard line.
I think he's going to be the first one in the whirlpool when they get back to Gulf Breeze.
Only dressed 36 on the roster for Gulf Breeze tonight. Their numbers down just a little bit. We had scores from last night. The JV team beat Gulf Breeze 28-0, and the 9th grade team won 26-0.
Great start for Navarre.
3rd and 8 for the Dolphins. McCurdy in the shotgun. Twin receivers to the near side. Single receiver to the top of the screen. Nelson in the backfield. McCurdy looking to pass. He's feeling pressure, and it's going to be great double coverage there by Xavier Thomas and number 15, Jaden Rivera.
Yeah, I'm surprised Bobby Clayton, I believe, played quarterback
at Gulf Breeze.
At Gulf Breeze, that's right.
That is correct.
Right. And I'm old enough to remember when he played Gulf Breeze when we were covering
Yeah,
him.
Me too.
I'm surprised that they don't throw more to their backs like Navarre does. And that would open, I think, for them, some of their wide receivers.
And this will be our first actual punt of the night here in the first half. 11:05 to go here in the second quarter, 14-7 Navarre. And it's a nice short end-over-end punt. It's going to take a sideways bounce and stop right there at the 12-yard line.
Yeah, that punter's not very big. Not very big, but a great job pulling down a high snap.
1st and 10 for the Raiders from their own 12. their worst field position so far on this night, but they have a 14-7 lead here with 10:54 on the clock.
I know you're going to run down scores throughout the area, and it's almost like Christmas.
It is.
Tonight's like Christmas. I was looking forward all day, to watch football.
One of the recruiting guys up at Miles College where my son's at, he posted something like that on Twitter. He said, shouldn't this day be deemed a national holiday?
Exactly.
Marlon Courtney into shotgun. Jaden Antonio to his right. Twin receivers top. Tyler England to the near side. It's going to be a keeper by Courtney. He's going to get to the outside. He's out over the 30 and out to the 34-yard line on a 21-yard keeper by Marlon Courtney.
With that touchdown run that he had for about 12 yards, it really keeps the defense honest. They have to go with the play fake. Marlon reads the linebacker and took it up for a great gain.
22 yards out to the 34, 1st and 10. And that is the backup quarterback in right now as they give Courtney a breather. They're going to hand off to Antonio. He's going to get good yardage out to the 40. They're going to spot the ball right at the 40, a 6-yard gain for Courtney.
Yeah, I think Marlon had a helmet issue or his helmet came off on its own. So I believe high school is similar to college where they have to go out of play.
And this is going to be our first look at number 38, Isaiah Miller, transferred here from Texas. Just in the middle, and we're going to have a penalty against the Raiders. I believe we have too many men on the field.
Illegal substitution.
Yep, illegal substitution. That's going to move them back. That was a 6-yard gain by Jaden Antonio, but that's going to be moved back 5 yards, back to the 35 on the first penalty of the night for Navarre. Go through almost a quarter and plus a couple minutes for your first penalty. Courtney in the shotgun. It's going to be a handoff to Isaiah Miller as he rumbles out to the 44-yard line. It's going to be a Raider first down on the young man's first carry at Navarre High.
Yeah, that's a great way to start it. Come back after the penalty and pick up
looks like 9 yards on the play.
Yep.
25, Dave Davis.
That was actually 38. Isaiah Miller on the 38. Steve Alford trying to get the numbers right. It's hard to notice them. It's going to be another handoff to Miller. He's inside the 50 and in the Gulf Breeze territory. Down near another first yard run. Gain of 9, 2nd and 1 coming up.
Looks like Navarre's overall team speed is really eating Gulf Breeze up here, and they're going off tackle, spread them out, and again later in the game, I think it's going to pay dividends. Gulf Breeze is going to be wore out. His
build is a little bit like Joshua Carter from last year. Yep. Very strong young man. Still learning the playbook here as he transferred during the summer. Courtney back to pass. He's got a receiver downfield. Tyler England wide open at the 10, and he's going to catch the ball, and it's down at the 1-yard line on a big pass play from Courtney to Tyler England for 45 yards.
Great pitch and catch there. Tyler kept the ball, was slightly underthrown. He kept his eyes on the football, beat double coverage, and the defensive backs didn't turn and look. You can usually look at the eyes of the wide receiver, and the technique was not there. Benefit Navarre, and they're knocking at the door again.
8:45 on the clock. It's going to be a handoff. Is it going to be Courtney on the keeper for the touchdown? Everybody looked up the middle, and Courtney says, "Thank you very much." A 1-yard touchdown run for Marlon Courtney, his second run on the night. At the 8:37 mark of the second quarter, a 1-yard scamper by Courtney.
A lot of the media in the local area, both in Fort Walton and Pensacola, picked the two top teams in our district, Crestview and Navarre. And Navarre early here, I know it's early, but they're proving why they're worthy of that praise.
And we have movement on the line here on the point after attempt. When I first started watching football, they said Pat, and I said, "What's Pat?" Point after attempt. The lessons we learn as little tykes.
Point after touchdown.
Point after touchdown.
Interesting here, offsides again on defense for Gulf Breeze. Looks like Navarre's still going to go with the single point after touchdown.
And Penton, his kick is up, and we have a whistle again, another flag on the near side. And now encroachment again. You can only move it about a half a yard on that one, Bob.
I mean, they haven't stopped Navarre much in the run game.
5 encroachment penalties in the ball game already for Gulf Breeze.
Yeah, Bobby's going to maybe just skip the first half.
And this makes this a 18-yard point after touchdown attempt. Snap is good. The kick is up, and he splits the uprights. 21-7 Navarre as the train horn goes off in the far end zone. And the Raiders have a 21-7 lead.
I think our kicker's got the most work of any athlete on Navarre's side. With kickoffs, this will be his fourth kickoff coming up. Got 3 point after touchdowns. Getting his leg warmed up.
We like that.
Oh, absolutely.
My son's a kicker. He's a senior at Miles College in Birmingham. And the more kicks for him, the better. That's what he trained all year for.
Well, if he goes to the next level, think about going to the Chicago Bears. Did you see where the Chicago Bears and NFL tried out your Bears?
My Bears.
9 kickers.
9 kickers.
They're
down to 2.
They're down to 2.
Eddie Pinero and Elliott Fry. Elliott Fry played for the now defunct Orlando Apollo and coach, the old ball coach, who doesn't like to be called that anymore. Penton get ready to put toe on leather for the Raiders here from the north end of the field. 3 deep for the Dolphins, 2 at the 10 and 1 inside at the 5. 21-7 Navarre, 8:37 on the clock here in the second quarter.
I think on that point after touchdown, they may have added it to the kickoff.
No, they kick off from the 40.
Do they? Okay.
It's another TV timeout.
TV timeout.
Thanks for keeping it straight, Tim. He's not the best cameraman in the world for nothing.
I think we'll keep him.
Yeah, we might as well. Penn's kick is a high one. Another one is going to come down right at the 7 again. Very consistent on his kickoffs. It's going to be a nice return out to the 28-yard line, a return of 21 for number 3, Leonard Brown.
If you're Bobby Clayton, you want a positive drive here. It's really been, kind of hit and miss. Their run game has been successful against Navarre. Passing game, non-existent, but so far, due to great coverage by the Navarre secondary. With 8 minutes left in the half, knowing that Navarre is going to get the second half kickoff, probably a nice drive here would really please Bobby Clayton.
McCurdy in the backfield in the shotgun. To his left is Trevor Nelson getting the bulk of the carries tonight for the Dolphins running game. That's going to be a quick hitter to the outside. It's going to be a completed pass out to about the 33-yard line. It's going to be to number 11, which I don't have a number. Who it is?
Eric Stratton.
Darn glad to meet him.
Yeah, darn glad to meet him. Single coverage on the outside, one-on-one, good short tackle.
6-yard gain.
Yep.
And it's going to bring up second and a long 5. It's going to be a handoff. No, a keeper by McCurdy. A nice trip up there by the corner coming up there. And that's number 27, Matthew Pointer, it looks like. But it's going to be a gain out to the 36.
3rd and short.
So he's going to give him 2 on the carry. They'll bring up 3rd and 2 for the Dolphins with 7:33 on the clock here in the second quarter. 21-7 Navarre. Raiders going to come in tight with their corners. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. Grady Kelly meets him, but I think he's going to have enough surge for a first down. It's going to be close.
Yeah, it's one of these right foot, left foot things by the official.
10th carry on the night already for Nelson for 50 yards.
Tackle made by big number 52.
Are we going to have a measurement? We are going to have a measurement here, Bob. Give me time to change the time on the clock.
Gulf Breeze thinks they've got the first down. Of course, Navarre thinks they've stopped them.
6:59 on the clock here in the second quarter. We are in a break for an official measurement here. Gulf Breeze will either have 4th and inches or 1st and 10. We're hoping that you are enjoying this inaugural broadcast on IrishBillSports.com. And it is, by the nose of about half the football, a Dolphin first down.
Dolphins get enough for a first down.
Their 5th of the ball game, first here in the second quarter. It'll be 1st and 10 Gulf Breeze as we come out of the measurement break.
You know, you and I talked before the game about Fort Walton Beach High School and their program. They're up 21-0 now near halftime against South Walton.
South Walton has moved up to Class 4A, if I remember. Is Phil Tisa still the head coach over there
sure
at
is.
South Walton?
Great friend.
He is a good guy as well.
Just got married, I believe.
Congratulations to Coach Tisa. 1st and 10 Dolphins from their own 38-yard line. It's going to be almost intercepted there on the far sideline by Kobe Johnson. It's going to fall incomplete and bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, the quarterback needs to look off his receiver. He stared at him the whole time, and it allowed the safety to come up and, like you said, almost picked it off. And that would have been yet another turnover.
Your defenders out there on the defensive right now, Jordan Moon, Grady Kelly, and Brandon Wangeren. We'll get to the linebackers and corners and defensive backs here in just a second. 2nd and 10 for the Dolphins from their 38. McCurdy looking to pass. He's got a receiver for a first down out to the 49-yard line. A gain of 11 to number 5, Devin Baldwin.
Just Devin a little down and in. Just sat there in the zone, waiting for the ball right on target. First down. And I think it's time for another water break.
6:42 on the clock, and we'll take a break with them. With 6:42 on the clock here in the second quarter, Navarre 21 and Gulf Breeze 7 here on IrishBillSports.com. Bob Grant and Irish Bill will be right back after this short break.
Culver of Culver's. Before farm to table, before field to fork, there was just good, wholesome food. Grown by America's farm families, prepared fresh at Culver's, and always served with a smile. We still cook every Butterburger to order using fresh 100% Midwest beef and craft our frozen custard right in the restaurant using family farm fresh dairy. So thank you, farmers. Welcome to Delicious.
Welcome back to Friday Night Football here at Bennett C. Russell Stadium. Bob Grant and Irish Bill on IrishBillSports.com. And the field judge goes down as he tripped over one of the Navarre linemen. Not funny, but he looks like he's okay, and he's back up. 1st and 10 Dolphins at their own 49. 6:42 on the clock.
Well, it's their first game, too, of the season, the officials.
1st and 10 for McCurdy. He's back to pass. He's feeling pressure up the middle, and he's got a receiver, and it's going to be incomplete as their pressure was from Jeremiah Chavez Moon, playing both ways.
Yeah, he's a big young man. And
only a junior, 16 years old.
And he was at the chamber breakfast, you said.
No, actually number 52,
I see,
who he just passed, is Grady Kelly, also a junior, who is 6'4", 265. It's going to be 2nd and 10 for the Dolphins from their own 49. The Raiders defense trying to get off the field here. 2nd and 10. It's going to be handoff off right tackle. Grady Kelly hits him first, and it's going to be a 1-yard gain out to the midfield stripe.
Raider defense looks like they have shored up that and stopped that run game. Great adjustments by the Raider coaching staff.
1-yard gain for Nelson's going to bring up 3rd and 9. They're going to split 2 receivers to the near side. Hepworth and Baldwin. 2 receivers to the top of the screen as well. Sharp and Trey Alexander. 3rd and 9 for the Dolphins from the midfield stripe with 5:55 on the clock here in the second quarter. McCurdy back to pass. Great blocking by he's going to take off and run. He's still on his feet, and he's going to get the first down inside the 40. Great piece of running by quarterback McCurdy, and a Dolphin first down.
What happens when you try to arm tackle, you got to wrap him up low. Kept his feet going. Great job by that young man.
On the first hit, he was about 5 yards short, but he kept pushing those legs, and that indeed gives the Dolphins a first down at the Raider 37.
Looks like a flag is thrown, a sideline warning on Navarre. Remember, the coaching staff wasn't very happy that the referees let that play go on. But, as long as the guy's legs are going and you got to play, perhaps they were, hoping for a quick whistle.
And Coach Edwards always say, that's why we play the game.
That's why we play the game. That's right.
It's going to be McCurdy that's going to be taken down in a sack by Grady Kelly, his first on the season. All the way back to the 41-yard line, a loss of 4.
Yeah, timing issues on that play. Navarre almost tackled the gentleman he was trying to fake to, the up back, and that play just folded down. Quarterback sack for a loss. Looks like 3 yards.
It's going to bring up, let's call 2nd and a long 13. McCurdy in the shotgun, single back to his left. He's going to throw a quick out to Baldwin. Baldwin's going to break 1 tackle, get to the 40, and that's all the further he's going to go. A 1-yard gain to Baldwin on the 2nd and 13 of play.
And it's obvious that Baldwin is going to be one of their top playmakers of the night. Took a little bubble screen, hoping to get some distance on that. As Gulf Breeze calls timeout.
Gulf Breeze takes their first timeout. We'll stay right here, folks. They're down to 2 timeouts. Both teams with 2 timeouts. Left with 4:17 on the clock. We'll update the scoreboard to keep you updated with what's going on here at Bennett C. Russell Stadium. Irish Bill and Bob Grant bringing you live action of Raider football this year here in 2019. And hopefully wherever you're at, you're enjoying the broadcast. My good friend Todd Alt watching over in Sweden.
Advanced Edge, Alfie's Family Restaurant, Firehouse Subs, Hydro Pro.
Gulf Breeze heads into this 3rd down and 12. Look for a pass play. Last time they were in this situation, they found Baldwin, who just did a little down and in or a button hook inside the zone and got a first down. We'll see what Gulf Breeze does here.
3rd and 12 at the Raider 40-yard line. McCurdy looks over the sideline, gets the call from the sideline. Trevor Nelson to his right in the backfield. Trips to the top of the screen, single to the near side. 3rd and 12. McCurdy's going to get pressure. He's going to roll out, and he's going to cut back. What a nice move by McCurdy. And he's going to get popped at the 17, but not before he gets a 23-yard gain and another Gulf Breeze first down.
Yeah, I think a silver lining tonight. The first half has not been all that spectacular for Gulf Breeze, but this junior quarterback has shown his coach and shown the crowd he's got a pretty good head on his shoulders. When the play breaks down, he doesn't worry. He's going to take off and run, and yet another threat that Navarre is going to have to look out for.
And Coach Clayton, I read that an article, that interview that he did, that he's going to give his quarterback a little room to get not green anymore. It's going to be handoff to Nelson, and a big hit coming up from the linebacker position is Jeffrey Maddox. But it's going to be a gain down to the 13, a gain of 3 for Nelson, and 2nd and 7. With 3:28 on the clock here in the first half, 21-7, Navarre over Gulf Breeze.
I mentioned earlier about what they wanted to do on this drive, and they've sucked down about 5 minutes at least on this drive, trying to make a statement because they know Navarre's going to get the ball back to start the second half.
You're right on that, spot on with that comment when they started this drive back in their own end. It's going to be 2nd and 7. It's going to be a run up the middle, but nothing there as it's stuffed by number 12 for the Raiders, Connor Eastwood, outside linebacker.
Being an old quarterback from Gulf Breeze, Bobby Clayton, very good offensive mind, pushing the ball to the far side, perhaps maybe setting up a fade in the end zone to a wide receiver. Maybe look for ball.
No gain on the play. 3rd and 8 coming up for the Dolphins at the Raider 14. It's going to be Nelson. He's going to kick to the outside. He got a great block, and he's going to go in for 6.
Yeah, credit the wide receiver on that. Great block. You expect wide receivers, to catch balls thrown to them, but don't forget, one of their other assignments, if the ball's not going to come to them, is blocking, and that certainly was a good one.
15-yard run. That's given 14 on the carry for Nelson, and its 2nd touchdown for the Dolphins in this contest will cut the lead to 21-13. Nelson's first touchdown on the season. Crook in for the extra point. Kick is up, it's true, and it's through. 21-14 is your score with 2:15 on the clock here in the opening half.
Well, we'll see what Jay Walls, what philosophy he has. And they practice it, even though it's early in the season. At practice, you want to practice a 2-minute drill. They're going to get the ball back to start the second half. Do you just run the ball, play conservative, or do you maybe try to get beat and catch Gulf Breeze sleeping a little bit?
My good friend Todd, who played football in Oklahoma, he's sending me messages about 3-man front. He's giving me all these different defensive calls and everything. He's a defensive coach.
And not a bad comment because that's something they assess. With the advent of video and internet, coaches can replay what happened. And it wouldn't surprise me if Navarre starts the second half maybe with a different, instead of a 3-man front, going to a 4-man front to mix things up.
Gulf Breeze with 143 yards rushing, 37 passing. Navarre with 80 passing and 110 rushing. So 190 yards of offense for Navarre, 180 for Gulf Breeze here through the first half. Crooks is going to kick off from the left marker, hash marker. It's going to be deep down to the 6. It's going to be returnable. And it's a nice return. He's got a lot of room to run. The kicker gets in the way and makes a touchdown saving tackle. Crooks with a great play.
And based on the new penalty about tackling from behind with a jersey, if that was the kicker, that should have been a penalty according to the new rules that I understand.
There's a flag down here about the 28-yard line.
Could be, that's usually some kind of an
That's
illegal
usually
block.
a hold or a block in the back.
Yep.
And that's going to erase the nice return of one Gabe Davis.
Bobby Clayton's got to be thinking, we played a really tough, bad first quarter, but we came out strong. I mean, as so-so with all the penalties and the fumble and the near interception, we're only down 7 going into potential halftime.
So you take the ball away from the 50-yard line all the way back to the 18. That could change up Jay Wall's outlook on what he's going to do here.
Absolutely. And that's the second penalty, I think, on Navarre. Untimely one, but a big one. England takes the
nice hit.
Catch.
The catch, he's out near the 30-yard line. He's going to get a Raider first down out to the 30. A gain of 12 from Courtney to England.
And most importantly, I think he got out of bounds, which should stop the clock. At least that's what the side judge said, but no, they're winding the clock.
First down for Navarre from their own 30. 1:48 on the clock. It's going to be a quick hitter to the outside. Nice catch there. It's going to be a big gain out over the 45, out to the 45-yard line as he found number 3. That looks like Xavion Thomas with his second 15-yard catch on the night and another Raider first down.
Well, I think Coach Jay Walls has answered my question. They're not going to sit on the ball. They want to score here or a score of some type, a field goal or a touchdown.
First and 10, Navarre from the 45, 1:39 on the clock. He's going to take off and run, and he's going to get out to the 49-yard line, a gain of 4, bring up 2nd and 6 on the keeper.
Yeah, quarterback draw all the way. You hope to suck the lineman in the ends and get some free space. If he gets in the open, he surely can outrun the Gulf Breeze secondary.
1:14 on the clock and ticking. 2nd and 6 for the Raiders at the 49 of their own. It's going to be another quick hitter, and it's going to be a broken tackle. Thomas is going to get to the outside, and another Raider first down to about the 46-yard line.
Really impressed by the routes the wide receivers are running. Very crisp, good hands. And Marlin is delivering the ball right on target.
Another Raider first down. Gain of 6. Courtney on the night, 6 of 7 for 113 yards and a score. First and 10 Raiders at the Gulf Breeze 45-yard line. It's going to be a jet sweep to the right. It's going to get to the outside. Nice hand down. That's Trent Hall, the sophomore, is going to get down to the 38-yard line is where they're going to mark his knee down. It's going to be a gain of 7 for Hall on his first carry of the night.
I think Navarre is going to call timeout.
Their second one.
Yep.
Trent Hall with a nice carry. Only a sophomore. I watched this young man play on the freshman team last year, and you can just tell a little bit about, you can tell when they got a little something. And I think he could be another, not playmaker like Dante Wright, because there's not too many Dante Wrights, but he has the potential, even at an early age, to groom into that role.
Well, with the freshmen and the JV team winning, that paints a great picture for the future of Navarre, and that's the success, and they need that. There's no middle school sports per se. There is no middle school sports in Santa Rosa County, so they have to depend on, as Gulf Breeze does, their rec programs, and when they get into the freshman and JV program, start hitting the weight room, and that bodes well for the future of Navarre.
42 seconds on the clock. 2nd and 3 for the Raiders. Courtney back to pass. He's feeling pressure. He's going to break out to his left. He's got pressure from behind, and he's going to go down on the sack, the first sack of the ball game for Gulf Breeze, all the way back to the 45-yard line. The Raiders going to call their last timeout.
Hung on the ball a little bit too long. Clearly, it was pass all the way, and I think what Coach Walls is going to say, he should have taken off. But credit Gulf Breeze, they stayed with it. Good sure tackle there for a loss.
1 sack for each team on the night so far. Both here in the second quarter. And if Navarre's going to have a 3rd and 10 from the Gulf Breeze 45 with 29.1 seconds to go.
29.1 seconds. Under 30 seconds. All right.
So we'll adjust the clock to get to the game time. 29.1.
So if you're Navarre here, you want to run patterns toward the sidelines. What Gulf Breeze wants to do is try to keep the receivers in the middle of the field and stuff those outside routes.
Third and 10 for Navarre from the 45. A high snap. Courtney's going to roll out to his right. He's going to throw it back, but it's going to be.
His knee was down and perhaps should have been a late hit call by the official.
It's going to be a completed pass, but it's going to be a loss of 4 yards back to the 49-yard line as they tried to find number 49. It looked like Gomez.
Navarre's out of timeout, so Gulf Breeze will end the half on a positive note.
And we're going to go to the half. Your halftime score, Navarre 21 and Gulf Breeze 14. Navarre will get the ball to start the second half. And this is Irish Bill with Bob Grant. We're going to take a halftime break, and we're going to let you listen to some music here as we gain some liquid refreshments to get ready for the second half. This is Irish Bill and Bob Grant. Enjoy your halftime.
Don't forget to visit your concession stand.
Gotta love this one. It's my favorite one.
3 claps. 3 claps. 27 years ago, I sat in this locker room just like you guys, on a knee, getting ready to play a game. I walked down the locker room, it still smells the same. It takes you back real quick. One of the things that caught me was how fast 27 years goes by. There's so many people that live vicariously through you. I would give anything tonight to jump in one of these uniforms with you guys.
To do something I never had an opportunity to do. My father never saw me play. You play for your fathers tonight.
That feeling goes away. It goes away, and it doesn't come every Friday night. It comes when you get married. It comes when your child's born. So you get it, but you just don't get it every Friday night. You're going to miss that more than anything in the world. That's what I miss. And so you seniors that are focused on college, you're focused on your work after high school, what you're going to do next, you're focused on tomorrow, aren't you? You got plenty of time for tomorrow. But these tonights, they're going by fast. You focus on tonight. This is about you guys. This is about the guys in this room that care about each other, that know.
Think about what that means. You think about what it means to me on your last play. This is my last play of football ever. My last play. How do I want it to be? How do I want to be remembered? Number 1, play class. Number 2, play class. 1, 2, 3. Last play. 1, 2, 3. Last play. 1, 2, 3. Last play. Let's go play it.
All we need is just somebody that wants to do some leadership out there. Now we go. Come on, Ed. Everybody's a leader.
There's nothing like the boys of fall. What we put on the pads for every Friday night. What we sweat and shed tears for our brothers in arms.
All we had was a feeling. All we knew was we were.
Sorry about that. I was right in the middle of something. The boys of fall. We sweat through the long, hot summers. We go and we push that little extra when you don't have that little extra to push. But when it comes game night in the fall, that little extra bit that you gave 2 months ago when it was 95 degrees and 84% humidity, you get it out of you. And you go to work and you get that one extra yard that may decide the game, a first down or a touchdown. And you can look back and say, man, you know what? It was all worth it. And we looked at every season. The seasons go by rather quickly. You're only high school students for 4 very, very short years. You have more of what's after high school than what you did before. But those times, remember them. Remember your brothers in arms that you went through 2-a-day practices with. And you'll remember them as you go and you get older and your kids start to play the games that they love. This game of high school football leads to so many opportunities in life. It's not just a sport, folks. It's a family game, and it teaches you how to take on the responsibilities when you get older. And I just love coming out each and every Friday night and bringing you Navarre Raider football on I knew I was going to say it once. It's IrishBillSports.com. And I'm glad that the broadcast is going off well. Everybody's enjoying the broadcast so far. Bob and I, we loved the game. We loved everything about this game, and hopefully that comes out in our broadcast.
Yeah, like you said, it's like Christmas. You know, you've been waiting all season, all off season, and these young men have been waiting all season and all off season in the weight room, and they're tired of tackling each other, so to speak, as you know, and they're ready to hit somebody different.
Most definitely. And as I was saying before you came back on, it's a brotherhood. It's sweat and tears. You may not agree with what's going on that 95-degree day and that 85% humidity day, but when you come out and you score that touchdown or you make the big shoestring tackle that saves the game-winning touchdown, that's when you look back and say, you know what, it's all worth it.
You know, exactly. And all those workouts and laps and reps that you do pay off. And when you find success on the field, then you say, like you said, it makes it all worthwhile, and it prepare you. Not only and football does that. It really does prepare you for life, because just like in life, you get knocked down or you miss a tackle or you miss a play. In life, you got to do the same thing. You can't let it get you down. You got to get up and try to have a short memory, learn from your mistake, and continue and not give up.
Well, that brings us to our halftime stats, Bob. Let's first go with Gulf Breeze with 143 yards rushing for Gulf Breeze, 37 through the air for 180 yards. Navarre with 109 through the air, 114 on the ground, so a pretty balanced attack for Navarre. McCurdy for Gulf Breeze, 6 of 10 for 37 yards, but he's been doing most of his damage on the ground, 42 yards on 7 carries. His running mate in there in the backfield on 68 yards on 14 carries, Trevor Nelson. And a big run on the fake punt of 28 yards by Carson Hepworth, the backup quarterback, set up the Gulf Breeze first touchdown. Your leading receiver for Gulf Breeze, 1 catch for 13 yards for Sam Sharp, 2 catches for 12 yards for Devin Baldwin. For Navarre, a good half for Marlon Courtney there, 7 of 8 for 109 and a score. He's also contributed 35 yards on the ground on 4 carries. The leading ball carrier for Navarre with 40 yards on 6 carries is Jaden Antonio. The leading receiver for Navarre, 2 catches for 57 yards for Tyler England, 3 catches for 36 yards for Xavion Thomas, 1 catch for 20 yards for Jaden Antonio. Navarre with 9 first downs to Gulf Breeze's 8 in the first half. Gulf Breeze penalized 6 times, 5 encroachment penalties. We'll see if Bobby Clayton makes an adjustment at halftime. Navarre with 2 penalties in the first half. Each team with 1 sack. Navarre has taken 1 takeaway from Gulf Breeze, a fumble to get the game started. And a fine job by the Raiders' junior kicker, Preston Penton.
Well, that kickoff fumble that Goff Brees had led to a Navarre touchdown, and Navarre was driving. Well, they got a kickoff and had a long return, and a block in the back hurt them. So
the coach is always talking about those untimely penalties.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know you're going to have them early, and it's just, some teams open up with, you don't want to slight your opponent by calling them cupcakes, but easier games. And in our area in Northwest Florida, where there's great football, there really isn't any easy games. Next week, Goff Brees hosts Catholic, and Navarre has a game. Coach Wall's got to get them ready after tonight. But they're looking for only one thing. They're looking for what's ahead of them right here coming up in the second half.
Well, I got another text here from my good friend Todd Alt in Sweden. It's 4 a.m. over there. He stayed up to watch our broadcast.
I hope he doesn't have to go to work in the morning or.
No,
he's retired.
Not fully retired. But he does a lot of handiwork and he keeps himself busy. Married a lovely bride of a few years, Victoria. I believe 8 or 9 year old daughter Cecilia. She was just born after I think we first met or before we met. And so I've got to know their whole family, but I've never met them in person. So hopefully someday we'll be able to make that happen. Your halftime score here, Navarre 21, Goff Brees 14. We're going to head back to a time in 2010 when Navarre had a young man by the name of Ian Lockwood battling a rare tumor. And this is one of the songs that became popular with the Raider faithful. Rest in peace, number 10. You'll always be remembered here at Navarre High. This is Irish Bill and Bob Grant heading out to commercial break as we're just seconds away from starting the second half. 21-14, Navarre.
Navarre Raider Sports is brought to you by Ursula Householder of Caldwell Banker Residential Real Estate, your local real estate connection. With Ursula, you've got a positive, helpful partner for buying or selling a home. Ursula can help with all of your real estate needs, whether in the Florida Panhandle or around the world. Her 15 years experience in real estate will work for you with innovative marketing strategies. Thinking about selling your home? Call Ursula for a free market analysis and see if you qualify for one of the incentive programs. Call or text 850-642-5711. Email ursula.householder@floridamoves.com or go to householderhomes.com. Go Raiders! Your fans are behind you at the field or watching at home.
Craig Culver of Culver's. Before farm to table, before field to fork, there was just good, wholesome food. Grown by America's farm families, prepared fresh at Culver's, and always served with a smile. We still cook every Butterburger to order using fresh 100% Midwest beef and craft our frozen custard right in the restaurant using family farm fresh dairy. So thank you, farmers. Welcome to Delicious.
University Lending Group, located in Harvest Village, is Navarre's local mortgage lender. If buying, selling, or building a dream home is in your future, you need to contact University Lending Group. Jennifer Gomes and Stacy Wright are the loan specialists who have the experience to take you step by step to make your buying, building, or selling experience smooth. See University at 752 Navarre Parkway, Suite 56, or call 850-396-0322.
Welcome back at the half as we're getting ready to get second half action under the way as both teams have come back out and warming up in their respective end zones. Navarre in the south end zone, Gulf Breeze, standing at about their 10-yard line on the north end of the field. 21-14 Navarre over Gulf Breeze. And the inaugural broadcast here on IrishBillSports.com. Bob Grant and I bringing you all the action this year in Navarre Raider Nation. And we look forward to another outstanding season of Raider football with Coach Jay Walls and his staff.
Yeah, it's been a great first half. Certainly, Navarre wants to improve on a couple of issues, tighten up some things, and their coaching staff will make the adjustments. Navarre will receive the second half kickoff. Wonder, if Bobby Clayton did a fake punt, I wonder if he'll do a pooch kick or an onside kick to start the second half.
Let's listen to this score here. Class 1A Bluntstown, Class 4A Arnold, 31-3, the Tigers of Bluntstown.
Wow.
At Arnold. Is that the effects lingering of Hurricane Michael?
It could. You mentioned Bluntstown had very small roster, and the hurricane did, unfortunately affected Panama City Beach, but also the surrounding communities are still suffering.
Yeah.
I teach out in Walton County at Emerald Coast Middle, and we had a lot of mostly military kids from Tyndall that could get out, enrolled until their parents were reassigned to other bases.
Yeah, I talked with their head coach, Coach Bo Johnson for Bluntstown a couple weeks ago on the Southern Gentleman Sports Show on the ticket, 9 a.m. to noon. I got to throw that little plug out there every Saturday. I will be joining from the road once my son starts playing. But Coach Johnson brought up that point. They had just finished putting up their temporary lighting at Bluntstown. Their stands, or new stands, they did not have a field to play on going into this season. That's all good to go. They played their last game on the road, I believe, up in Chipley or in Boniface, one or the other. But they're 22 focused young men with a great coaching staff, and they're proving it tonight on the road at Arnold.
Yeah, Arnold's not certainly a slouch team, but good for them. 1A over 4A. Wow.
And that would be the second one in 2 nights. Graceville took out another Panama City team last night, Bay, 16-8. Kirk getting ready to put toe on leather to get this second half going, Bob.
Ready to go.
Your 2019 Silver Golf sponsors.
The word sea of humanity. People from Gulf Breeze are still coming in, including the student section. I was beginning to wonder where are the Gulf Breeze fans, but they filled up the visitor side pretty good. On the home side, the sea of humanity. I thought our beverages were going to get to us in the fourth quarter. I can only imagine how long the line was.
Kirk with a high kick that's going to come to rest at the 8-yard line. It's returnable. It's right up the middle, and a nice return by the Raiders out over the 30, out to the 38-yard line. Gabe Davis on the return. A 30-yard return, kickoff return for Davis.
And I think what Jay Walls is going to want to do to start the second half is set the tempo, get their running game going, get their quarterback involved like he was, mix in the pass, and, again, work on Gulf Breeze, tire them out.
So a nice return sets the Raiders up 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line. Courtney in the shotgun. It's going to be a quick hitter to Jaden Antonio. He's going to get to the outside and out to the 44-yard line for a nice gain.
Yep, again, trying for an arm tackle. Can't do that with these Raiders. He's, running back's not very big.
And he's going to pick up 9 on the carry, Bob.
Exactly, and they're running wide. They're using the whole field tonight so far.
And we're going to draw him off. Nope, he didn't cross. He almost crossed again. 2nd and 1 for the Raiders from their own 43. Hall goes in motion. It's going to be a handoff to Antonio for a Raider first down. And in the Gulf Breeze territory, down to the 44.
You know, he's so short and so small behind those big bubbas. He waited for the blockers, looked for the hole, and got first down yardage.
13-yard gain for Antonio on 2nd and 1. And the Raiders' 10th first down of the game. It's going to be Antonio behind that huge offensive line once again, down to the 33-yard line. Another gain of 10. Actually give him 11 and another Raider first down.
Just right now, so far, smash mouth, running right at.
And let's tell you who those big bubbas are here in just a second. Grady Kelly, number 52, is a junior. Number 77, Jeremiah Chavez Moon, a junior. Center is number 75, Nathan Duggan, the only senior on that line. Number 73 is Dawson Higginbotham. And actually that's 74 out there, which is Preston Brewer. And on the outside, the right tackle is Elijah Melendez. 4 juniors and a senior.
Yeah, Jay's got to be happy about that.
We already told him that. We said move to change like 30 seconds ago. Anyways, 1st and 10, Navarre at the Gulf Breeze 33-yard line with 10:44 on the clock and a 21-14 lead here in the third quarter. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. This time is to number 25. I think that is Gabe Davis on the carry. And he is going to get down inside the 25, down to the 24. Give him 9 yards on the carry for Gabe Davis.
Really quick feet. The hole on the right side was plugged up. He took a side step, found the hole on the left side.
They're going to give him 8. So let's call it 2nd and a short 2. Hand off to Davis again off right tackle. And he's going to get down for a Raider first down to the 21-yard line, a gain of 4. And another Raider first down.
They're just having their will up front. Big offensive lineman just pushing Gulf Breeze back. Gulf Breeze also started out with a 3-4. Now it looks like they've gone to a traditional 4-3.
Jabari Mitchell in, A.J. Arno out. 1st and 10, Navarre from the 21. It's going to be a jet sweep to the left, and they're going to be pulling it. And a nice run by Mitchell inside the 15. He's going to get all the way down to, let's see where they spot him, right at the 15-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 7 and 2nd and 3.
They've had a lot of success on those jet sweeps.
That's one that Dante Wright and Nick Benton and all these other Raiders before them. Michael Sandel, currently playing baseball over at South Alabama.
Yep.
2nd and a long 3 for the Raiders. Courtney back to pass. He steps in. It's going to be, he's going to throw it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. See who that is? Is that number 2? Or is that number, yep, that's Tyler England with the touchdown catch. What a great maneuver by Marlon Courtney to evade the pressure, and he finds his senior wide receiver, Tyler England.
Last time he did it, he was sacked, avoided. This time, avoided the rush, took a step to his left, very patient, fired a strike into the end zone for 6.
A 21-yard pass play, and the Raiders on the board on their first possession here in the second half. Courtney to England. Benton's kick is up and good. 28-14 Navarre. After the great kickoff return by Gabe Davis to give him great field position at the 37, the Raiders finish up the last 63 yards, the last being a 21-yard pass play from Marlon Courtney to Tyler England.
You know, and Coach Wall's got to be happy with the first drive. You achieved the goal that you wanted. You got 6 on the play, but just very effective use of the running backs. And, of course, the touchdown strike to finish off the scoring drive.
So they make their adjustments at halftime. They didn't get points on the board, but they did move the ball effectively at the end of the second quarter. And they take off that momentum, and they move it right on down the field, 63 yards.
It'll be interesting to see what adjustments we see by the defense. As you mentioned, the offense had a few adjustments. Instead of running away from the linemen, they're running. Navarre on the last series did a lot of runs at the heart of the lineup.
There is 9:32 on the clock here. Thanks, Todd, for the reminder on the clock. All the way from Sweden. Hey, Bill, fix your darn clock.
At 4 a.m. in the morning.
He's wide awake. He loves his football. He grew up in Oklahoma. His dad was a big Texas fan. He was an Oklahoma fan, and they battle back and forth all the time. The big old Red River shootout every year, but he bleeds red and white of Oklahoma.
They've had a few good coaches there, I would say.
A lot of coaches that started out young and stayed for a long time and were very successful.
Bud Wilkinson, being one of them.
Barry Switzer.
Yep.
Penn's kick is a shorter kick. It's going to come down at the 11-yard line. It's returnable, and it's going to be a nice cutback, and it's going to be a nice return, and a big hit by the Raiders kickoff team, but a nice return out to the 49 for number 2, Kyron Evans.
It sets up good field position for Gulf Breeze on their first possession in the second half.
I appreciate that Gatorade there. That comes in handy. 38-yard return by Evans. On a 49-yard kickoff return by Penton, his 5th kickoff of the night. 1st and 10, McCurdy brings the offense back out on the field. And the Raiders get a nice surge, and there's going to be a loss on the play. A gang tackle leading the way, number 26 for the Raiders, Becky Domino. It's kind of the domino effect. I had to get that one in there.
Rim shot.
That's one of those you can use once a night.
Yeah.
It's going to be a loss of, looks like about 1.5 yards.
Yeah, Navarre sent their linebackers on the play to stuff those gaps. Looks like they're still going with the 3-4 defense. Perhaps one of their linebackers to be a little bit more active.
2nd and a long 11. And that's going to be pressure by the Raider defense and a sack. They're 2nd on the night. Number 15, number 2 on the play, and number 57. You're going to remember this last name, Nate Herring, the younger brother of Hacksaw Chris Herring, and Bo Herring, who's a junior at Maryville College in Tennessee.
Yeah, the Herring boys started their sports career with me at the YMCA, and little Nate was playing. I remember when he was playing T-ball.
Nate is only a junior. It's going to be a loss of 9 on the play. Second sack of the night for the Raiders. And it's going to be 3rd and a long. It's going to be a nice play, toss and catch out into Raider territory down to the 49. That's just back to the line of scrimmage plus 2 yards. It's going to be a gain of 12.
Knocked out of bounds by number 14.
If Gulf Breeze might consider going for it, their offense is on the field.
They are keeping. Nope, now they're changing them out. But we saw this earlier in the game. Would they do it twice? They are in Raider territory at the 49.
Never know.
7:02 on the clock. 4th down for the Dolphins. Almost blocked. I didn't watch it, but I heard it. It's Xavier Thomas to the outside. Nice return out over the 20. It's going to be about a 10-yard return out to the right at the 20-yard line. About an 8-yard return.
Yeah, it looked like contact was made. The referee made no indication that the ball was tipped. And, of course, if the ball is tipped, it's fair game. Bobby Clayton very upset about the non-call.
1st and 10 Raiders.
Raiders going to bring out the offense once again with 6:42 on the clock here in the third quarter and a 28-14 lead. Courtney in the shotgun. 1st and 10 from the 20. Gomez goes in motion. Courtney back to pass. He's feeling pressure. He's going to go down. Great pressure by the front three of Gulf Breeze. Tyree Smith on the sack.
Well, let's see if Navarre goes back to the running game that was so successful that led to the touchdown to start the second half.
It's going to be a 7-yard loss for Courtney and bring up 2nd and 17 for the Raiders. Gomez goes in motion. Courtney back to pass. He's got a little screen play. He's got wide open here on the near side. Still on his feet. Over the 30, there is a flag back at the 13-yard line.
Probably a legal block on Navarre that wiped out what looked like to have been a first down.
It's either going to be a legal block or a
chop block
against the defense.
Wow.
So the play is going to stand. It's going to be a catch and a first down for the Raiders out past the 30-yard line. It's going to be a 17-yard gain to Antonio, and then they're going to chalk on 15 more yards.
I have never heard of that call on defense, but of course you certainly want to protect the everybody's knees.
And that's the 7th penalty of the night for Gulf Breeze for 42 yards. And the Raiders going to move the ball all the way out to the 49. So that's actually, they were at the 13-yard line, so they went out to the 34. That's going to be actually a 21-yard gain on the pass play instead of 17.
They tacked on a penalty, I think, to the end of the run.
Yeah, from the 34 out to the 49. 15-yard penalty. So we're going to add 3 more yards onto that.
Once again, I'd like to thank Jersey Mike's and Firehouse Subs for providing meals for the boys this week.
So on the night, 9 of 10 passing for Courtney for 151 yards and 2 touchdowns. And he's also contributed 28 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns. So he's accounted for 3 touchdowns of the 4 the Raiders have put on the board.
I mean, he's showing great leadership. Certainly a lot of guts standing in the pocket, taking hits. And he's used, that's the kind of leadership you want, you expect from your senior. And really got a good head on his shoulders. And I really like what I see out of him. He's got good vision. And
it's got to be 1st and 10 Navarre from their 49. 6 minutes on the clock, fresh out of the water break. Gomez goes in motion again. It's going to be a handoff to Gabe Thomas off right tackle. He's got a nice gain, cuts back, still on his feet. Another flag in the background. Behind the play, back the 41-yard line. And it looked kind of like maybe the same play, or it's going to be holding against Navarre. They're waving it back. It's going to be holding on the play.
Could have been on the wide receiver.
Holding against Navarre.
Wipes out a very positive play.
Only 3 penalties on the night for Navarre, but that will back him up as it is a spot penalty all the way back to the 35-yard line. So it will bring up 1st and 24. And I'm going to give you a quick off right guard behind Preston Brewer. He's going to get out to the 38-yard line. Let's give him 3 yards on the carry.
Brings up second down and long.
We'll give him 3 yards for the benefit of the doubt. Bring up 2nd and 21 for Navarre from their 37. Ball's on the ground. Raiders recover as they had an exchange issue there, Bob.
Yeah, there was a timing issue on that busted play. Fortunately, Navarre got it back. 2 of those 3 penalties Navarre had cost them, momentum or good field position. Hopefully, this last one isn't the death knell. But
no, nothing on the gain. That was actually the junior Isaiah Miller on the exchange. Courtney back to pass. He's getting pressure. He's going to dump it off to his scat back, Bailey Houston. He's going to get out over the 40 and out to the 43. He's going to gain about 6 yards on the play. And it's going to bring out 4th down, and this is the first time we're seeing the Raider punting game.
Yeah, it's certainly not a bad thing if the punter stays on the bench.
Tyler England with the punting duties. It's going to take a bounce. It's going to be returnable, but not very far as the Raiders have about 3 or 4 players down there on special teams. It looks like number 23, Domino again. No, that was actually Zach Marquise. That's the second time that we've called his name on special teams.
We need to get one of the local optometrists to sponsor our program for You're in My Eyes.
You got that right, Bob. 37-yard punt for England, and only about a 2-yard return for Gulf Breeze.
Yeah, great special teams play. Tyler's punt was a line drive, but good coverage by the special teams of Navarre.
Down to 3:53. Nice little job by his receiver to just find a little area and haul in the pass. It's going to be a gain out to the 27-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 7.
Player not on our roster.
That's not uncommon
Yeah.
early in the season. So it's going to be 2nd and 3 for the Gulf Breeze Dolphins from their own 27. McCurdy with the handoff to Nelson. A nice stop there in the backfield. He's going to surge forward and get back to the line of scrimmage. Is Nelson on the hit by Nate Herring. Bring up 3rd and 3.
Well, see if Gulf Breeze may want to go to perhaps something with their talented quarterback, perhaps a quarterback draw or, a fake or a pass play that breaks down and he runs for a 1st down.
3rd down and a short 3 for the Dolphins from their own 27. Twin receivers top, single to the bottom. It's going to be a handoff up the middle for a Dolphin 1st down and a gain out over the 40 to the 42.
There's a flag on the play.
There's a flag on the play, back about to 27. And they're bringing it back.
Yeah, it was a live ball play. Certainly if it was offsides against Navarre, they would have killed it. And we have a player for Gulf Breeze, unfortunately, a little slow in getting up, and that's Nelson.
A false start penalty. Their 8th penalty of the night.
Looks like Nelson hopping off with cramps.
It's going to bring up 3rd and 8 now, Bob.
Probably definitely changes the play call with Nelson out of the lineup. Somebody that's been really quiet since early in the 2nd quarter. has been their talented wide receiver core.
It's going to be, face mask penalty.
And that wiped out a great play by the Navarre defense.
Grady Kelly, I think, was back there, number 52.
That might be an automatic first down.
A face mask, whether it's 5, I think this is going to be it's from the spot, so it could be short of a first down because it's not an automatic first down in high school.
Okay.
So it's going to end up being third down and about 4.
Face mask, personal foul against the Raiders. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Remains third down.
That's one thing in high school. It's not an automatic first down on the 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, and on that play, that really hurts the offense, to be honest with you, because if in fact I think that was, to be honest with you, was incidental, but either way, it was a 15-yarder, but it really gives the advantage to the offense on that play, or the defense on that play.
It's going to be a nice play by Xavier Thomas, and the ball is on the ground. Was it after? They're going to say he's down.
Xavier Thomas, number 3.
It was looked like it was number 2, Evans, on the carry, and he was stuck by Xavier Thomas for a tackle for loss. That's going to go all the way back to the 22, a loss of 4. And a big play by Thomas there.
Yep, very heads-up play on third down. With this punt, should give Navarre good field position.
Crook back at his, and we're going to update the time, refresh the timeouts in the second half. I need to do that. And we're going to refresh, and then we'll take one away from Gulf Breeze. And we're going to move the game clock down to 58 seconds. And that's where we stand, 28-14 Navarre here on this Friday night, August 23rd, 2019. Navarre in their charcoal gray uniforms tonight. Maroon numbers outlined in white letters as well. Black Navarre Raider helmet with the Raider on the side. Dolphins in their gold jerseys with blue pants outlined in gold on the stripes on the side, and their blue helmet with the Dolphin on the side. Crook back to punt for the 4th time tonight. 3 of them he's kicked away. 1 was a fake. And this is going to be a nice, effective punt down inside the 40. What?
They're saying Navarre may have touched the ball. I don't know if you can.
The official is marking it at the 40.
I don't think you can advance the ball in high school unless it was a.
The referee is bringing the white hat over. The far side line judge is bringing the official over. It may say either it was touched by Navarre and Gulf Breeze gets the ball right there, or it did not touch the Raiders and the Raiders get the ball right there. But either way, it's not going to be a touchdown.
Boy, if they call this back, holy moly. Bobby Clayton.
Well, let's see what they're talking there. 40 seconds on the clock, 40.6 seconds on the clock. It's either going to be Gulf Breeze ball.
They're bringing it back either way.
It's going to be at the 40. And are they saying it never touched a Raider?
I'm not sure.
Because the Raiders are keeping. Looks like the Raiders are keeping their defense on the field. So it looks like it is going to be Gulf Breeze ball. 1st and 10 at the Raider 40.
I didn't think you could advance it in high school, but certainly I could be wrong. And like we said at the start of the broadcast, it's the referee's first game also of the year.
That's going to be the Raiders' first official turnover of the year. And give the Gulf Breeze Dolphins 1st and 10 at the Raider 40 on the muff punt.
Things were running smooth for the officials in the first half. The second half, they've had some curious calls, but that's what must have happened. Navarre must have touched it and gives Gulf Breeze great field position here.
McCurdy brings the offense back out after a short reprieve there of about 15 seconds. And it's 1st and 10 Gulf Breeze at the Raider 40. 40 seconds on the clock here in the third quarter. Oh, it's going to be a big sack and a fumble by the Raiders. Get the ball right back. And the Raiders are going to get the ball at the 48-yard line. Are they saying he's down? They're keeping the offense on the field. Is this Raider ball or is... Come on, officials, you need to talk to us a little bit.
The referee's in the backfield of the offense of Gulf Breeze, so it has to be
it's a sack.
Contact, yep.
It's a sack, 2nd and 17. 2nd and 19. What a sack right there by the Raider D. Blindside sack. I didn't see who got it there. I think it was a corner, and that's going to be the end of the third quarter. We're going to go the fourth. Navarre 28, Gulf Breeze 14 on IrishBillSports.com. Bob Grant and I will be right back after this short commercial break.
Culver's. Before farm to table, before field to fork, there was just good, wholesome food. Grown by America's farm families, prepared fresh at Culver's, and always served with a smile. We still cook every Butterburger to order using fresh 100% Midwest beef and craft our frozen custard right in the restaurant using family farm fresh dairy. So thank you, farmers. Welcome to Delicious.
Irish Bill and Bob Grant back here at Bennett C. Russell Stadium for fourth quarter action coming up. A good ball game to start the season here. Navarre out on top 28-14 as they scored on their opening possession of the second half to take the 14-point lead. Gulf Breeze will have a third and let's call it about 15 coming up here.
Here by head coach Bobby Clayton. Looks like they're sending at least trips out.
3rd and 15 at the Raider 45-yard line as we start the fourth quarter.
We're waiting to come back from commercial.
This game is on TV, channel 35. But what I recommend you doing for future broadcasts, you know what? You can go ahead and just turn it off. And log on to IrishBillSports.com and catch Raider football.
Hey, it's your streaming program. I would do the same thing. I mean, no disrespect to our friends on TV. But
great guys. I know all of them personally. But we love our Raiders here.
Yeah, I'd like to get back before in the morning for breakfast.
Yeah. 3rd and 15. Here we go. McCurdy back. He's going to feel pressure. He's getting to the outside. He's got room to run. But he's going to be tackled at the 40 on a nice defensive play there by I think that's number 21 again, or is that 15? That is number 15, Jaden Rivera. 5-yard gain for McCurdy on the scamper. And it's going to bring up 4th and 10 at the Raider 40.
Yeah, Rivera was acting like a spy sitting there in center field, and as soon as quarterback broke the line of scrimmage, he raced across 10 or 15 yards to make a sure single tackle.
4th and 10, the Dolphins going for it at the Raider 40. Trips to the near side, single to the top. McCurdy back to pass. He's feeling pressure. He just throws it up, and it's going to be incomplete, and the Raiders will take over. Not a bad play to just go ahead and drop that one.
Right, yeah, and that will help them. Instead of being at the 30, they may have gained 15 yards by the non-interception. That ball may have slipped out of the quarterback's hands on this very, very, very humid night.
My good friend Todd is staying with us. It's rushing the 5 o'clock hour in the morning over in Sweden, and he's staying with us, Bob.
I want to know what the temperature is right now in Sweden.
Well, last I talked to him the other day, they were getting their lows down into the upper 30s, which is unseasonably cold for that time of year in Sweden. He's in southern part of Sweden. First and 10 for the Raiders from their own 40. And a nice tackle there in the backfield by number 1, Sarwarinsky. And Antonio is going to lose yardage back to the 37, a loss of 3. Will bring up 2nd and 13.
They stunted the linebacker on that play. He made a very sure tackle of the quick running back.
Second and 13. Back to pass. That was a little bit of a holding play. He had his jersey. The referee didn't see it. England had distance behind the defender. Nothing was seen. There goes my poor English again. It's going to bring up 3rd and 13.
Yeah, clearly he had a handful of it. I'm surprised Navarre was throwing deep with a 14-point lead, 10 minutes left.
And that is only Courtney's second incompleted pass on the night.
Right.
10 of 12 for 157. He needs a big one here on 3rd and 13. And he's got Trent Hall, and he drops it at the first down marker. And the Raiders are going to send out the punt team once more.
Yeah, as far as things you would see early on in the year, things like, false starts and lots of penalties. I think Jay Walls is happy with what he's seen. That might be one of the first, glaring errors of the night, and it comes with 10 minutes left in the game.
10:29 on the clock. England punts a low one. It's going to take a Raider bounce inside the 20, and it's going to come to rest at the 16-yard line. A 47-yard punt with the roll.
Yeah, speaking of roll, that's how the ball got back to Tyler England. It was a 3-hopper, and like a good sure-handed shortstop, picked it up. Didn't take the steps that he normally does, but got off a great punt, at a very opportune time.
And it'll be Gulf Breeze 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line. I'll make that a 45-yard punt as I look back at my numbers here. McCurdy's played a kind of solid game, not much in the passing game, but a nice rushing quarterback.
Very smart.
It's going to be a nice big play here. There's nobody over here on the Raiders. And it's going to be a big play inside the 30 and out of bounds at the 28-yard line on the run by Trevor Nelson.
I think Raiders were looking for pass there and got caught.
47-yard run for Nelson. That puts him over 100 at 118 on 18 carries and a touchdown. What a big play to get the Dolphins out of their own end.
And the last time we saw him, he was limping off the field with cramps. So, assist from the Andrews folks over there helping out.
Correction, 57-yard run. And that's the Dolphins' first down in the second half. McCurdy's going to keep the ball. He kind of runs a little bit of an option on that play. And he's going to get positive yards down to the 20, a gain of 5. And the Dolphins moving the ball down the field.
Yeah, nice run there. Runs a little too upright for me, but you can't beat success.
2nd and 5 for the Dolphins, trying to get back into this ball game. McCurdy with the handoff to Nelson. He's going to cut off right guard, and he's going to get down near the first down marker at the 15.
Nelson on the carry.
I think Todd said the temperature was 39 degrees.
Nice. I could go for a 39. Well, not up here, but sitting out in my home with the fire going.
Yep.
And the window's cracked just a bit.
Just a little bit.
Or we're going to have a timeout for a measurement. All right, because we're at the 8:56 mark. He's going to try and catch up here with the clock.
Introduce everyone to the Raider Jim's dance team.
Well, Todd, thanks for checking in from Sweden. And you don't have to call me Mr. Grant. We're friends now over the internet. You just call me Bob.
Stephanie Beard.
Yeah.
Maya Carter.
Wow.
And once again, I'd like to thank our sponsors because without them, we wouldn't be here. Ursula Householder, University Lending Group.
Quarterback Club.
Quarterback Club.
Yep.
Express Professional Employments of Pensacola. And the host of my show every Wednesday night from Culver's in downtown Navarre. It can be heard every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. We talk a little high school sports, give you scores and updates and performances from this past week. First and 10 for the Dolphins at the Raider 15. McCurdy in the shotgun. He looks for Nelson out in the flat, but he's got a receiver inside the 5, and he's going to go out of bounds at the 4. Trying to see who the receiver is. It's going to be first and goal, number 11 again. Wish I had his number because he's having a good night. That's going to be a 12-yard gain and a Dolphin first down, first and goal.
Savannah Winston, co-captain. Give it up for the Raider Jim's dance team.
And a first and goal at the Raider 4. It's going to be McCurdy on the keeper for his second touchdown of the night. And the Dolphins have cut it to 8.
Yep. They don't give up. Got to give Bobby Clayton's crew that. They fought very hard tonight. Things haven't always gone their way with penalties and penalties called and penalties not called. They fought through adversity and keeping this game very close.
A 4-yard keeper for McCurdy. His second touchdown run of the night. Crook in for the extra point to cut it to 7. The kick is up. It's through, and it's good. 28-21 Navarre with 8:30 on the clock.
The Dolphins make it a one-score game. It's 28 for the Raiders, 21 for the Dolphins.
Nice to see the kickers come out solid and perfect on the night. Penton 4 for 4. Crook 3 for 3. You say, Bill, you give a lot of credit to the kickers. Yeah, I'm kind of a little partial to the kickers.
Gee, I wonder why.
Miles has first game coming up September 7th. They'll be traveling to Fort Valley, Georgia to take on Fort Valley State to avenge one of their losses from last year. Miles College, the SIAC champions. They started out the season 0-5, won their last 5 out of 6, and took the conference title as they avenged one of their losses to Albany State, 50-23 in the championship game.
It's not how many games you win sometimes, it's which games.
That's correct. Coach Reginald Ruffin doing a great job up there at Miles College. He's a 4-time All-American Division II linebacker and a Harlan Hill recipient on defense. That is the award of the Heisman Trophy for Division II, which is rarely awarded to defensive players. He was also elected to the that past 25-year team in Division II football.
Okay.
What sold us on Miles when we transferred out of Shorter was when we made our visit. I like the honesty and upfrontness of Coach Ruffin, and That's where Brady decided to go, and I'm glad that he made that choice. Crook with the kickoff coming up, getting ready to put toe on leather and get this game back going. 28-21 Navarre here in the fourth quarter. 8:30 remaining. From the 40, here we go. It's a high end over end kick. It's going to be fielded at the 8 by Gabe Davis. Nice block on the inside. He's breaking one loose. The kicker's on the outside, but there is a penalty flag back inside the 20-yard line. Once again, it's going to negate a big return by Gabe Davis.
Yep, another tackle by the jersey. It's supposed to be illegal now from the back of the jersey where the nameplate usually is.
But they're going to bring it all the way back inside the 20, Bob. And that, if it's a holding penalty and at the 18, it's going to move them back inside to 10.
Right, half the distance. And another, penalty. Gulf Breeze may have more of them, but Navarre's had penalties that, you never want to have penalties. But the ones that Navarre's had has really hurt them in key situations. It is a hold, 8:20 left on the clock. You might want to guess Navarre will come out and try to, once again, just run the ball like they started the second half.
Well, I just got an update that the game isn't on TV. They're having technical issues. So the only play in town is us.
Do they have audio, I wonder?
It's going to be Courtney on the keeper. A big gain out over the 20 and out to the 23-yard, a 15-yard gain for Courtney on the keeper to get him off their goal line.
Kyron Evans is a senior wide receiver for Gulf Breeze. Doubling out his cornerback, just got plowed over by Gabe.
Going to spot the ball. It's a 23, 1st and 10. It's going to be a handoff up the middle by Jaden Antonio. And he's going to gain 3 yards. And that was kind of a
wrestling move there.
Yeah,
we got 2 for, okay, we got a reversal. Yeah.
What's the old one from unnecessary roughness? We got I'm not even going to go there because I know I'll mess it up. 3-yard gain by Antonio, 2nd and 7 for the Raiders. Courtney in the shotgun. Back to pass. He's got a receiver, Arno. And it's going to be off Arno's hands. And it's going to be intercepted at the 45.
There's only one person who saw that, and that was the back judge. He came running in very sure of the call.
And they're going to take over 1st and 10 at the Raider 45 with a chance to even this game up.
Definitely swinging momentum.
Big defensive play there by the secondary of Gulf Breeze.
May have been tipped by the wide receiver for Navarre. Pass thrown, as you said, a little high.
1st and 10, McCurdy with the offense back on the field. Raiders' second turnover of the game. It's going to be a handoff to Trevor Nelson. He's going to get inside the 42-yard line down to the 41. A gain of 4 will bring up 2nd and 6. 132 yards on 19 carries for Nelson on the night. Gulf Breeze known for their big-time running backs, and Nelson is filling those shoes right now.
They have a young man with the last name McKee that went to the Naval Academy, I believe.
Yep, played for the Chicago Bears.
Yep.
I remember that. 2nd and 6. It's Trevor Nelson again. He's going to be brought down by a host of Raiders. About a half-yard gain.
Yep, going to the well. He's been their workhorse.
It's going to bring up 3rd and a long 6 as the clock gets down to 6:33. 6:30, 6 and counting. Let's move it on down to 6:20.
3rd down and 6, Raider Nation, where are you at?
3rd and 6 for the Raiders defense. McCurdy in the shotgun. Twins to the top, single to the bottom. It's going to be a handoff off right tackle. He's going to have enough for the first down. Actually, off left tackle. Nelson with the 7-yard gain down to the 34.
Yeah, you got to. Nelson's had a great night, but you really got to give it to the offensive line of Gulf Breeze. Great tackling, great blocking to spring the holes. And I think it's time for our water break again.
Yeah, and we're going to stop it right there at the 6:02 mark. Let me correct the clock. And we're down to the last 6 minutes. 6:02 on the clock. Our final water break of the night. 28-21, Navarre on top. We're the only game in town right now, Bob.
Yeah, Coach Craig wanted to know what's taken so long of our game, and I forgot about the TV. That might be certainly a reason.
Niceville's final score, 15-0. They got a safety on their final score. Their only score of the second half was a safety.
So Niceville won
15-0 over Mosley.
Okay, that's a pretty big win there.
A shutout to start the season for the Eagle defense. It's going to be 1st and 10 at the Raider 34. The Dolphins trying to move into tying a scoring position here. McCurdy in the shotgun. It's a feisty effort by the Dolphins offense tonight. And it's going to be thrown, and it's going to be incomplete on a great coverage by Trent Hall.
Yeah, I think that was a good no call by the officials. Contact on both sides of the ball. Quarterback laid it up. The wide receiver could get it. Good response from Navarre. DB to knock it down.
Going to bring up 2nd and 10 on the incompleted pass. 5:55 on the clock.
One thing to keep in mind, Navarre's defense has been on the field a lot in this second half. So, fatigue may be setting in a little bit for them.
2nd and 10 at the Raider 34. There's going to be a handoff to Nelson, and he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage for no gain on his 22nd carry of the night. 139 yards and a score. It's going to bring up 3rd and 10, 3rd and long for the Dolphin offense. But at this point of the game, I think we're looking at 4 plays.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Going for it on 4th down, even if they don't convert here on 3rd down.
Again, on the near side of the field, perhaps setting up some kind of corner route to the sidelines.
3rd down for the Dolphins.
For Gulf Breeze.
3rd and 10, trips to the top of the screen, single to the near side for this Dolphin offense. He's back to pass. He's going to roll out to the right, being chased by Grady Kelly. He's got a receiver to Devin Baldwin, but it's going to be a 6-yard gain down to the 29-yard line. They're going to gain 5 on the reception from McCurdy to Baldwin. I'm sure we're going to see that a lot this year in Dolphin land.
He's been quiet in the second half. That may have been his first reception.
It's going to bring up 4th and about 5, a short 5. See if the Raider defense has been, like you said, they've been out there a long time. Twins to the near side, single to the top. Nelson in the backfield to the right of McCurdy. 4th and 5 for the Dolphins at the Raider 29. McCurdy's going to keep it. He's going to pitch late, and the Raider defense is going to come up solid as he's about a yard short. A big defensive stand by the Raiders defense, and they're going to take over on downs with 4:10 on the clock.
Yeah, the quarterback pitched late. Didn't have a lot of room to maneuver, and he almost picked up that first down.
And I think that was a pitch to the wide receiver, too. That looked like Devin Baldwin over there.
Could have been.
And that's going to bring up about a yard short. So even though the quarterback took the most of the yardage, he pitched, and all the yardage goes to the back. So it's going to be a 3-yard gain, but it's going to be up short about a yard. 1st and 10 for Navarre. Jaden Antonio he's going to dive off a right tackle there, and He's going to get about 3 yards on the play, bring up 2nd and 7.
You're a big baseball fan.
I love all sports.
Dodgers and Yankees at Dodger Stadium tonight.
You know the ticket I want? Next year in August, Chicago and nice run by Antonio as he dives out to the 35, about 1.5 yards short. The White Sox playing at the Field of Dreams.
Oh, yeah, against the Yankees.
So a gain of 5 for Antonio, and it's going to bring Antonio. It's going to bring up 3rd and 1. Courtney back in, getting a play from the sideline. Antonio in the backfield. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a keeper right here from Courtney. He's going to shift Antonio from the right to the left. They're going to move the H back. It's going to be a run and a first down run by Antonio out over the 40 to the 41 and a Raider first down. Big first down there, Bob.
Absolutely. And at this, at this point in the game, Coach Jay is telling his folks, okay, they're going to try to strip the ball. So you got to, possession is very important. 2 hands on the ball. And, don't cough it up. Force another turnover.
That's going to be a gain of 7 for for Antonio. Antonio's going to lose about 5 on that one. So a tackle for loss for the Dolphins. Number 60, Tommy Egley, on the tackle for loss.
Kind of just a handoff set to go outside on a sweep, and penetration by, the defense.
Raiders going to take their first time out of the second half. Why would the Raiders take a timeout at this point?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
2nd and 16 coming up.
If it was 3rd down, I certainly could understand. You want to make sure of the play, but with 2nd down, and maybe this is what Jay Walls is saying. I want to make sure that everybody that touches the ball,
Or do we have a TV timeout here?
Well, you may be right. No, they signaled timeout Navarre. The referee clearly pointed towards Navarre. I think the TV is taking advantage of that timeout. But if they're not on the air,
yeah, we're going to have a 2nd and 16 when the Raiders come back out on offense. Great job by that O-line, the Big Bubbas. Number 66 in there on tonight. Marcus Feliciano just came in there in this 4th quarter. Another one of the Big Bubbas. 2nd and 16. 2 receivers near side, single to the top. Mitchell goes in motion. It's going to be a cutback run by the Raiders out to the original line of scrimmage. And at some point, you just have to let them go, fellas.
Whistle means stop, I always thought.
So Antonio gets the 7 yards back that lost on the first down play. It's going to bring up 3rd and 10. Actually, about 3rd and 9.5.
Probably predict another running play. I don't think that they would dare try.
Let me fix
throw the ball.
Let me fix my clock as we're down to 1:26.
Michaela Heppner.
3rd and 9 for the Raiders. Running that play clock is down as far as they can. Courtney back to pass. He's got a receiver off the fingertips of his intended receiver. There on the near side is Tyler England.
And that stops the clock.
Corney has not completed a pass here in the fourth quarter, and that's going to bring up 4th and 9.
Last time they punted, it was a two-hopper, and Tyler got off a great punt.
1:06 on the clock. And another. Oh, yeah. He got a lucky hop as that bounced right into the Gulf Breeze player return man's hands. And he's thanking his lucky stars right now, Bob.
Yeah, he signaled for a fair catch, and he tried to get out of the way, and he was kind of boxed in by a Navarre player there. And you're right. He's lucky it didn't bounce off of him, and Navarre take possession.
I think we'll be working on that long snapping a little bit in practice this week.
Yeah, or bringing Tyler up.
Speaking of long snappers, I had a great call with one person you won't notice on the sideline tonight for Navarre is assistant coach Brian Brinsfield. He's been in the hospital battling he's recovering from a couple surgery. So the Navarre faithful, please send out your best wishes and prayers to Coach Brinsfield as he recovers in the hospital and contemplating on what's going to happen next. But our thoughts and prayers are with you, Coach, and hopefully we'll see you out here on the sideline soon enough.
You said it was a knee or an ankle?
Back.
A back.
Back.
Okay.
Back surgery. He's had 21 surgeries. He played at Auburn. He was a long snapper and played, I think, 1 year in the NFL. And it kind of took his toll on his body.
Yep, absolutely. Teacher here at Navarre High School, and, of course, as you mentioned, a coach. Valuable asset to the Navarre coaching staff. We wish Brian well.
55.9 seconds on the clock, 28-21. Gulf Breeze with 2 timeouts left. They'll have to take this ball 71 yards to tie this game up, but they have limited time to do it. So we're thinking a lot of quick passes to the sidelines, Bob.
Yeah, absolutely. Look out for their wideouts.
And that's going to be dropped on the incompleted pass. And that will stop the clock at 52.2.
Navarre is going to keep an eye on Devin Baldwin, the senior wideout. He's had a pretty good night catching the ball along with number 11, who we don't know his name tonight.
That's all I got.
Yep.
And I don't have a wide receiver near there that I could even put that with. 3 to the top of the screen, single to the near side, 2nd and 10 on the incompleted pass. It's going to be a pass across the middle as he tried to find his intended receiver, number 11. And it's going to fall incomplete and bring up 3rd and 10. 10 of 18 on the night for McCurdy for 73 yards. And he's given a 47-yard on the ground and 2 touchdowns for the Gulf Breeze Dolphins. Valiant effort in here in his first start for the Dolphins.
Oh, absolutely. And I think in their kickoff classic game against Choctaw, I think they shut Choctaw out. And but anyway, I like what I see out of the quarterback from Gulf Breeze.
47.8, 3rd and 10. Oh, and there's Trent Hall with the interception. And that's going to end the game. The sophomore with the big-time interception. And the Raiders take over on the turnover. And they're going to seal this game up, Bob.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for a better way to play the ball. He turned and looked at the right time and picked it off. And you said a sophomore. You couldn't ask for a better job playing the ball.
Second turnover, both teams with 2 turnovers on the night. Well, do you consider a turnover on the punt?
Yep.
So 2 turnovers for both teams. But that was the big one right there. That one's going to seal it up.
And give Gulf Breeze all the credit in the world. They fought in this second half and did not give up, despite being outmanned almost 3-1 as far as numbers of players.
And the Raiders going to go into victory formation, one of the best plays ever planned out.
You know, absolutely.
One of the greatest plays in football.
It hurts. It hurts your. It hurts. It hurts. You know, even the stadium announcer knows it.
Yeah, Steve.
You ought to, you got to get a registered on that, a logo. Put it on shirts.
12.3. That's gonna run out the clock here. And the Raiders are gonna secure the Publix Beach Bowl Cup for the 10th time in the last 11 years. And here comes the Navarre faithful as they're out of the stands. Their Raiders are victorious in the Publix Beach Bowl Cup for the 10th time in the last 11 years. And I always love it in high school football at the end of the game when they split the field at the 50-yard line and shake the hands of their worthy opponents.
And certainly some of these kids could have played, rec ball with each other, know each other socially. And usually this is the last game of the year and heads the team into the playoffs. Now this is to start the year. And, Gulf Breeze starts, unfortunately for them, 0-1, and Navarre starts out 1-0, headed into their home matchup next week against the Pace Patriots.
The Gulf Breeze has their first 4 or 5 games on the road. Next week they'll be hosting Catholic. Catholic, a much improved team this year. The Raiders will be here back at Bennett C. Russell Stadium taking on their Santa Rosa County foe, Pace Patriots, next Friday night.
Got to work on those dentures.
I know. I actually don't have any dentures. I got a lot of cavities filled, but no dentures.
And, in the game on September 6th, Gulf Breeze supposed to go to Choctaw. We don't know where that game's going to be played.
At Fort Walton Beach, if Fort Walton Beach is not at home.
Correct. We don't know if.
It's kind of ironic that all those years that Fort Walton Beach played and shared a stadium with Choctaw, now the role is reversed.
Yeah, if the stadium's not ready, which school board member Dewey Destin said doesn't look very promising, but certainly we'll see.
We're going to go off and get a last word from our sponsors and our advertising. We thank them, Culver's, Ursula, Express Employment, Navarre Quarterback Club. We're just going to run through the lot of them.
Culver's. Before farm to table, before field to fork, there was just good, wholesome food. Grown by America's farm families, prepared fresh at Culver's, and always served with a smile. We still cook every Butterburger to order using fresh 100% Midwest beef and craft our frozen custard right in the restaurant using family farm fresh dairy. So thank you, farmers. Welcome to Delicious.
Navarre Raider Sports is brought to you by Ursula Householder of Caldwell Banker Residential Real Estate, your local real estate connection. With Ursula, you've got a positive, helpful partner for buying or selling a home. Ursula can help with all of your real estate needs, whether in the Florida Panhandle or around the world. Her 15 years experience in real estate will work for you with innovative marketing strategies. Thinking about selling your home? Call Ursula for a free market analysis and see if you qualify for one of the incentive programs. Call or text 850-642-5711. Email ursula.householder@floridamoves.com or go to householderhomes.com. Go Raiders! Your fans are behind you at the field or watching at home.
One company is on a mission to put 1 million people to work each year. Sounds like a big number, doesn't it? Not to Express Employment Professionals, seeking a skilled labor position, or administrative work. Maybe you're an executive looking for a career that fits. Good morning, everyone. We take pride in connecting the right people with the right company. Express Employment Professionals is on a mission to put 1 million people to work each year. Let us help. We'll open doors for you. Go to expresspros.com to find a location near you.
University Lending Group, located in Harvest Village, is Navarre's local mortgage lender. If buying, selling, or building a dream home is in your future, you need to contact University Lending Group. Jennifer Gomes and Stacy Wright are the loan specialists who have the experience to take you step by step to make your buying, building, or selling experience smooth. See University at 752 Navarre Parkway, Suite 56, or call 850-396-0322.
I think that's a nice way to break out IrishBillSports.com with the Raider victory, 28-21 over their rival Gulf Breeze Dolphins. And a game that really didn't get out of hand either way for both teams. They had a couple of turnovers, a few penalties, but it just came down to one big defensive play at the end of the game by sophomore Trent Hall.
Yeah, and credit, the coach for putting a sophomore back there. I mean, Jay Walls knew what he was doing. Defensive folks knew what they were doing, the coaches. And, that was the play of the game right there, I think.
Okay, now's the time where we select our Ian Lockwood player of the game. Folks, you already know the story on Ian. And it's kind of ironic. The last interview I did with Ian was against Gulf Breeze in 2010. This last game of the regular season right here. He joined me in the booth downstairs. And so ever since then, when he passed away January 28, 2011, we've tried to keep his memory alive. And the best way that I can do that is to honor each of our MVPs of each game throughout as long as I broadcast at Navarre High. And I'll run off a couple of names here, Bob, and we'll see. I got Marlon Courtney, 10 of 15, 157 yards, 2 touchdowns. I have for Gulf Breeze, 22 carries, 139 yards, and a score for Trevor Nelson. Jaden Antonio with 90 yards, quiet yards on 16 carries. Courtney also added 43 yards. I'm leaning towards Marlon Courtney as our Ian Lockwood player of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. You take your hat off to Trevor Nelson, the workhorse. He was their offense. He literally carried the team and the offense on his back throughout the game. But Marlon played, exactly what you want out of a senior. Did have an interception, albeit perhaps tipped off the hands of his wide receiver, but he had really a great first half, and I think that that's where I'm leaning.
We'll go with Marlon Courtney as our Ian Lockwood player of the game, and since we just mentioned him, I'm all for Trevor Nelson as our offensive player of the game.
Yeah, and it was one of those things where the Navarre defense knew he was coming. You just couldn't stop him, and not necessarily very flashy, very fast, just very hard-nosed runner. I don't want to compare him to maybe like a Norm Boulash. Remember Norm Boulash?
I do. Gosh, that's a name from the past.
The human bowling ball.
He played for the Patriots?
Dolphins.
Dolphins, that's right. The Dolphins.
And so, but anyway.
I was close to AFC East.
Yeah. Great running on his part. And I think he's going to have a lot of success this year. If he can stay healthy, as we always hope he will.
And they're going to need to with that roster of 36 players. They're going to need to stay healthy in a Class 6A schedule.
Yeah, and you need to find another back that you can give him a blow, so by the end of the season he's just not all wore out.
Okay, let's go over our final statistics here before we get to our defensive player of the game. The Raiders with 157 yards through the air, 194 on the ground for 351 yards. Gulf Breeze with 218 on the ground, 70 through the air for 291. Raiders with 15 first downs. The Dolphins with 11. Both teams with 2 sacks on the night, and both teams with 2 turnovers on the night. Gulf Breeze with 8 penalties, and Navarre with 4. And their leading receiver for the Raiders, 3 catches for 78 yards for Tyler England. 40 yards on 5 catches, the leading receiver for the Dolphins, whose name is
Devin?
Number 11.
Oh.
We don't know his name.
Stratton.
Eric Stratton. Darn glad to meet you.
Darn glad to meet you. They never knew what happened to Eric Stratton.
The leading ground carrier for the Raiders, Jaden Antonio with 90 yards. And for Gulf Breeze, 139 on 22 carries for Trevor Nelson. And now let's head over to the defense. It could be a lot of different players. There was 3 sacks on the night, a couple of forced fumbles, a couple caused fumbles, and a big interception at the end of the game. It's really hard to pick because they all played so well. But I'm going to go with the one young man on the defensive line that actually played both ways tonight. I'm going to go with number 52, Grady Kelly.
Yeah, I think it's a good choice. A junior offense and defensive lineman. You know, he may have started the night at 275 or 250, but I guarantee you he's probably down a few pounds in this humidity.
Okay, so our defensive player of the game will be Grady Kelly. And now we're over to our special teams player of the game. And I called his name a couple of times. And I like to go with Zach Marquise with about 3 or 4 special teams tackles.
Yeah, absolutely. Very key. Gulf Breeze did have speed on their kick return and punt return teams. And he nailed them a couple times. And, honorable mention to me is Tyler England, the punter. He never knew where the ball was coming from on the snap on punts, but he did a very good job, kept his cool. But I agree with you with our award winner on special teams.
Okay, there you have it. Marlon Courtney, our Ian Lockwood player of the game. Trevor Nelson from Gulf Breeze, our offensive player of the game. Grady Kelly, our defensive player of the game. And Zach Marquise is our special teams player of the game. Hopefully you've enjoyed our inaugural broadcast here on IrishBillSports.com. Many more to come as we will be at home next Friday night as we host our Santa Rosa County foe. Pace Patriots as they come calling here to Bennett C. Russell Stadium. Hopefully you've enjoyed the broadcast, Bob, and I look forward to many more to come.
Absolutely, I really have. Thank you for having me. And I didn't say Vikings. I didn't get my teams mixed up, my alma mater. But with 4 kids going to Navarre High School, this is my school right now.
Yeah, I only said Jock Jive once, so
yeah.
After eight years of being on Jock Jive, it's hard not to let that one slip out. But any parting words before we head out for the weekend?
No, absolutely. Football is here. A great way to start it off with a win. Great to start your network with a win. And you're going to be on Southern Sports Gentlemen? You're going to turn it around and be there?
Tomorrow morning from 9 to 12, I'll be on 100.3 The Ticket, 97.1 out of Pensacola, and wearesportsradio.com for Southern Gentlemen Sports Show with Pac-12 Dave and Georgia Dog and Hurricane Ryan. We have a lot of fun with it. You got a Hurricane fan, an Irish fan, a Georgia Dog, and a Wazoo fan, but we really don't feel much of a threat against Washington State.
Yeah, well.
But we have a great time with it. Next, you'll be able to listen to me on Wednesday night from Culver's from 7 till whatever I feel like finishing. And then we'll be back here at Bennett C. Russell Stadium here on the campus of Navarre High. For Bob Grant, this has been Irish Bill, and Navarre prevails on this night, 28-21. As the dust settles on the field of play, we'll see you again next Friday night. This is Irish Bill signing off. Good night, Navarre.